September 19th, 2017. Everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any amendments to the agenda, Robert?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there are two under my report. The first one is under appointments. I would like to add, if the board is willing, three more appointments to the Cultural Council. Mr. Bob Williams of Ayer, Marilyn McMillian of Ayer, Tyler McMillian of Ayer. And also under my report, after the administrative update, just a brief discussion with the board about the establishment of a conservation fund, since the chair of the CPC and conservation agent is here. Thank you.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
A couple announcements real quick. There will be a special town meeting this coming Monday, September 25th, 2017 at 7 p.m. on the second floor of the Ayer Town Hall to consider the special tax assessment agreement with AMSC and 114 East Main LLC. Also, there will be a Park Street form-based code public visioning charrette on Thursday, September 21st, 2017 at 6 p.m. And where is that, Alan? Is that?
We'll be doing it at the Great Hall.
Okay, and that'll be in the Great Hall.
Yes. Thank you.
Gary, do you have
Yeah, warrants. We have two warrants, an account payable and payroll. First one is on 9/5, account payable number 18-04, $432,216.92. And on 9/13, a payroll warrant number 18-05, $307,749.67.
Do we have anybody here in the audience for public input? No? All right. Who will get first? President of the conservation agent. Bill? Good evening.
Available seat. Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Howdy.
Well, we've seen you more lately than... It's always a pleasure.
And you're welcome.
I was going to say that we want to. But
Yeah, no. I'll take that. Well, first off, thank you and good evening. As you know, you have seen a lot of us because we've gone through a lot of machinations to get to the point where we are today. Our Conservation Commission, as you know, our previous conservation administrator resigned. And we have been through a long process. We've had multiple interviews. We had 4 good candidates, which we wheedled to 2, which we whittled down to one fantastic candidate who we have with us tonight. So Joanne Christoph has run her own business. She's been involved in conservation through 25 years through another group. She's been out in the world, has good experience, and we're very excited to present her to you as our candidate for conservation administrator.
Welcome, Joanne.
Thank you.
You want to tell us a little bit? You want to add to Bill's synopsis a little bit?
Well, he kind of hit the high points.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go back a little farther than I went back.
Please do.
I was really fortunate to grow up on a lake in Holden. And behind the lake was 1,000 acres of City of Worcester watershed. And that's where I spent my childhood, was either in, on, or under the water and out in the woods. I have a degree in biology. I have a master's in environmental science and policy. I have a graduate certificate in landscape design. And
Great.
most of my working life was spent as a building contractor with my dad, which I really loved. In Holden, working with town government, getting things done. And one thing led to another, and my most recent job has been that of a museum planner, pre-architectural planning for museums that are growing and changing in one way or another. Working all over the country, really tired of the travel. So we just moved to Ayer in June. My husband has a job with the trustees of reservations, running Fruitlands and the Old Manse, and several other conservation properties in Greater Concord. He's kind of in charge of Greater Concord, which, from what I see, runs from Concord to about Amherst. I was a land trust director in Holden for 25 years. I was the head of their education wing. So I've always been doing environmental things kind of on the side, and now is the time to just jump right in and do it full time. And I'm very delighted that the Conservation Commission has asked me to be their administrator.
Great.
Great. We're fortunate in there. Conservation Commission sometimes can be dicey in towns. I think everybody will say, and Bill's been on the board forever, but that they're fair, and it's a good thing because conservation is needed, but sometimes it goes over the top. And I think this board has demonstrated, from everybody that I've talked to, is always being reasonable in working with the people. So
We still got a lot going on. So
yes,
I think we hired a planner, so
Yes, I just heard.
it's still exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah. Good. It's good.
Yeah, like Alan's very excited.
I'm containing myself.
He's been, when you were talking, he's like, whoa. So, that's a good thing.
Good. I'm glad that's a good thing.
When would she be starting?
Well, actually, we were, one of the things we were talking about, so as per discussion, passed on the offer letter along with the union contract information, and we said that we would come from tonight. So first we didn't want to put the cart before the horse, wanted to make sure that everything went fine with the appointment, and then wanted to give Joanne her best opportunity. She had some other things she was cleaning up, but wanted to make sure that we got off to a good start. So we'll talk about that after, if that's okay, just to finalize arrangements. As you know, right now we're still serving the public of Ayer with Kate, who's been working with us and has been doing a wonderful fill-in job for us 2 days a week. So we'll continue to keep the office open, and once we have a formal time, we'll get back to you by letter and let you know.
great.
Make a motion to appoint Joanne.
Christoph?
Christopher, to Conservation Administrator, effective when Bill says.
All in favor? Aye. Welcome aboard. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thanks. Very good.
Welcome to the community as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Oh, good.
Oh, certainly.
I gotta shake hands. That's really.
Okay, we can wave.
We'll go forward, thumbs up.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. You guys don't have any issues with just bumping that up real quick? Bill, you're here?
Yeah, no, and wonderfully unaware, so this is perfect.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
It's the best way.
We'll be very brief, and thank you for the consideration per my amendment for a discussion on the Conservation Fund. As the board is aware, in addition to the Conservation Commission, the Planning Board, the Open Space Committee, and so forth, the issue of open space and the issue of land in Ayer is a premium at only 9.5 square miles. We do have significant challenges to maintain the balance between development as well as conservation, open space. And to that effect, the chair, Janet Provadakis of CPC, from Jess from Conservation and Beth Sudemeyer from Open Space, as well as Bonnie Tillotson from Conservation, had discussed for consideration for the fall town meeting placement of a warrant article for town meeting to consider the creation of a conservation fund a conservation fund for the town of Ayer. Additionally, the CPC initially, subject to town meeting approval, there would be a second article. The first article would be to create the conservation fund. The second article would be a transfer article to transfer $100,000 from the CPC into this fund. And then respectfully, for consideration by the board as the budget is concluded for FY19 at the spring town meeting, not to get the cart too far ahead, but consideration of potentially some additional funding for that fund. And the purpose of it would largely be for the town to be in a position, which I think we are, through your support in creating the line item for appraisals for Chapter 61 land and so forth, but to have the capacity to seize upon these opportunities as they present themselves. So to that effect, as you know, Selectman Luca, having been on CPC for years, with the blessing of the board, I was going to submit an application to the CPC to create that fund and be on behalf of the board. Then it would be put forth to town meeting through this board on the warrant, and again, it'd be two articles. The first would be to create the fund, and the second would be the transfer of that funding from the CPC to that fund.
Do we, hi Jan.
Hi.
Do we know the limitations of the fund and what it can be used for or not?
We will go ahead and, build upon that. I believe that when we put together the warrant, we'll say, who's going to be members, of that, committee that will oversee the funds.
Yeah.
Because it need to be someone from conservation, someone from CPC, the board.
Yeah.
I think Robert and I talked about, just making sure that open space and rec.
So you think it could be used for purchase of open space?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So-
And it would be, readily available, for
Right,
that
which
purpose.
is a problem we had before that we couldn't.
Right.
Whether it's the
Correct.
stuff that doesn't fall under CPC or takes the process, stuff we have to possibly move quick on.
Right.
Move quick, correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were lucky enough with the to get that done pretty considering. But,
It was, but it was hard.
Yes, it was.
It
Well,
involved
you
a
did it
lot
all.
of juggling
Yeah.
to get to that point. So, Mr. Chairman, when we did the Tooker purchase back in 2009, as you may recall, we had to come before the Board of Selectmen. There was a transfer of funds. We had to juggle some things. We had to say, well, this will come back at town meeting. Basically, we did a lot of work up front that, quite frankly, could have come back if folks at town meeting had said that they didn't think it was a good purchase, and it could have been a real problem. So we were spending money that, quite frankly, we were ahead of the game.
Yeah.
It worked out because it was such a great purchase, and I think everyone saw the value. But as you can imagine, and I definitely appreciate this, one of the things that the Conservation Commission would like to get more involved with is a review of the Chapter 61 land in town and communication with those people, with the owners of those properties, to talk to them about what plans they might have. And we'd be fully happy to hear that they plan to keep it that way forever and it's a family property. And there might be other folks who are, they're not sure, they're on the fence. And we'd like to at least let them know that, they preserved this land for all this time. It would be great if it could remain that way, especially if it was purchased by the town. And so having the money to go through the process of doing the upfront steps, whether it be, whether it's a review of the property, for cost purposes, or whether it's an actual preparation of purchase and sale, all that stuff. The basic real estate process. If we could be prepared for that, that would be fantastic.
As long as the funds can be used for that purpose, too.
Right. I would assume that if it was a conservation fund, that would be one of the primary directives.
Right. And then one of the other things, too, I want to remind everybody, when we first created the CPA back in 2001, the way that fund was, the way that the open space portion of it was, it also was included as a conservation fund. So if you look at the books, that's exactly what it, has written on there. But it can't be just for conservation fund. So that's why it would be nice to transfer some of those monies over so that we can keep feeding that, so that we have it available to turn around acquisition of property. Because that is one of the things that, came back as feedback of, I'd like to go ahead and see where, what type of properties we have bought.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, it makes sense to me, putting anything on town meeting warrant, because that's the people,
Yeah.
but, doesn't sound like we're asking for any funds right now, so.
I mean, and they're already there.
Yeah, they're already there,
That's the whole
exactly,
thing.
so that's, that is key, so.
Yeah.
There's no objection to me
No, do we need a
doing the
motion, or
application.
I don't think we need a
Not
motion,
needed,
right?
but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, I think it's,
So it'd probably get transferred out undesignated or something to...
No, it's going to get transferred out to open space
Oh.
because, like I say, it has two little components of it.
Yeah.
And, it's still open space, but move that out so that we can use it for that, right away.
good.
All right, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are we
thank
looking
you.
for this in the fall?
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Great. Well, nice to see you, Bill.
Thank you so much. Good to see you all.
Thank you.
Look forward to catching you at one of our meetings now that we'll be, right up there prepared and everything.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We were at a couple, you this year?
It was way in the back, way in the back. It's a big crowd. Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Take care, Bonnie.
Chief?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Night,
Hey,
Jess.
Jess.
Stay well, Jess.
It's been a while, Chief. Good to see you.
It has been a while. I'm going to bring up one of my call firefighters with me that's going to assist me.
I don't pay attention.
What's up, Jay?
If I may. John Delcourt.
John?
How are you?
How are you?
Good to see you.
For a while.
John's a longtime call firefighter in town. This is kind of his idea.
Okay.
So, he's going to assist in running it and training people. But what it is a group of citizens that aren't emergency responders that can help do other things when the first responders are doing their job. There's other things that have to be done, like if we had to open a shelter during an emergency. That's one of the primary functions. They can also help at rehab at large incidents. Say we had a large brush fire, or if we had a real large building fire, they can provide refreshments and that type non-emergency things. So we want to establish this, and we're looking for. I have no idea how much interest will be in it, but I'm thinking 10 or 15 people at the max. 10 would be good, I think, to start with and see how it goes. There's all kinds of training already set up through FEMA that John's familiar with. So he would be the primary trainer of these people. But what I'm really looking for is I'm looking for you guys to vote to give me the authority to appoint the people to this team.
Can we do that?
Yes, in looking at it, I think it is appropriate with a vote by the Board of Selectmen for the fire chief in his capacity as fire chief and also as the emergency
That's emergency
management.
No, makes sense.
Yeah.
So it would be a motion to authorize the
Yeah.
chief to appoint the members.
Would they, could they live outside the town, or they have to be living?
No, I don't think they'd have to. I mean, we would look for town people first because they're going to be around more.
Right.
But we have to I got to put it out there and see who's interested.
I mean, you might get
Yeah.
fire personnel that live
But-
out of town, or
Maybe.
police personnel.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I plan on putting it on the website, soon, and seeing what we get for volunteers.
Well, with all the stuff going on lately, it's a
Yeah.
good thing to have.
Oh, it is. There's no doubt. It's a really good thing to
We're
have.
so reactive, it's not funny, you know?
No, it
correct.
can't hurt anything. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It can only help.
Right.
Yeah, and we've already checked on insurance and everything like that, so that'll be in place. It's very minimal cost for the insurance.
That was my next question. It's
Yeah.
a liability issue.
Yeah, that's why it took me so long to come to this, because when you look on the FEMA website and you look under the insurance liability thing, it's about a 200-page document that tells you nothing.
In .8 font.
Yeah.
United States government at its
Yeah.
best. No, I think that's a good point with FEMA, but flooding, storms, I mean, I know it's rare, but
Yeah,
I
I
mean.
mean, they could help
huge
build
snowstorms,
sandbags, right, yeah, there's lots of things that they could do that's not of a non-emergent nature.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Make a motion to allow the fire chief
Emergency
To-
Management Director.
and emergency management director to appoint the community emergency response team at his discretion. Any particular number you want to say, or just?
I don't
I'll leave it
know. I
open.
mean, we're going to leave it open. We're going to keep it low.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's it.
a big group is hard to manage.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very
All
much.
right.
No, I think it'll be a good asset to the town.
Oh, absolutely.
Really do.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank John for stepping up
Yeah,
to
thank you, John.
to really
Thanks, John.
help with it, because I
Yeah.
thought about it for a long time, but just don't have the time to manage another thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people that always want to help,
Yes.
and then as Gary said, in crisis,
yeah.
no one plans for it, so
Right.
it's like,
No, there's a ton of people want to help, and the training, the training stuff that I've looked at is very simple stuff, but people have to go through it if they want to be on the team. So
I mean,
there's
we had
a whole
the-
criteria. It
flooding.
isn't just, hey, you want to be on the team. There's a whole
Well, I think
process
it's
to
pretty
it.
important in this town because we have trains,
Oh, yeah.
trains.
you know, we have water, we have,
We had the flooding at Wagon Road in
Right.
2010. There were people that came down and said, "Is there anything we can do to
Right.
help?" You know,
Exactly.
whatever.
So, yeah, there are people who want to volunteer,
Yeah.
no doubt. Yeah.
That's a great
And
idea.
part of the training is for them to be prepared first.
Mhm.
So,
cool.
Absolutely.
yeah.
All
Thank you very
right,
much.
thanks. Come back and see us again, Chief.
Okay.
I haven't seen you in a
Have a
while.
good night.
Nice to see you.
Budget season's coming.
Yeah. Thanks, Chief. Um, 7:20, can we have the, John here? Hey, John? Feel free to come up, there's discussion on recreational marijuana.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, John Hillier, Attorney Chris Lilly, and Mark Hillier. John asked to come before the board tonight to have a discussion about the issue of recreational marijuana and his plans with respect to that. And I think that should be obviously the first part of the discussion. And then secondly, if the board would allow, I'd like to give an update regarding options for the Board of Selectmen for consideration for the town meeting. There's been some changing developments, so it's sort of two-part. But I think the first part, John wanted to come before the board to tell you what his thoughts and plans are moving forward, and then we should talk about the mechanics.
Thank you.
Hi, John.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Mr. Poprion, Ms. Antonis.
Okay. Is that
And,
this?
it is.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep.
I'm doing well.
Do you have a way to advance
Everybody
it?
blocking the cameras
Yes.
doesn't know.
Thank you for the introduction. I won't go into any further detail. I think everyone fairly well knows us over here. Back in May 2013, which looking back is now almost 3.5 years ago, we came to the town with the plan to open a medical marijuana dispensary, and in fact the town of Ayer, voters of Massachusetts were very supportive, and this one here? Okay. And so thank you. We started on that road 3.5 years ago, and we didn't realize how many delays, detours, and roadblocks that we were going to experience in that first 3.5 years. And the town was very patient with us, waiting for us to come online and get up and running, and then engage with our community support programs and things like that. So I want to tell you I appreciate that patience in the road that we've come down. So I'd like to, just give a little bit of a brief. We can fly through these. If anybody wants to stop or something, please, I don't want to go too fast. But so essentially, we took the old Sunset building on the left, remnants of the laundry service, and we converted it to the dispensary on the right. Not a lot of changes visually from the outside, but we did certainly clean it. We extended some paving, put in some curbing, and tried to brighten things up a little bit.
It was a way before, though. That's after you've done some work before.
That's true.
Yeah.
We had
Definitely looked worse than that.
We had painted that the front, the chimney, and the very front piece, and we'd taken the signs down at that point. to the left of that, you can see sort of the yellowing of the building that was more what we found when we came in. That's just another closer shot of before and after in the front. Of course, the addition of a handicap ramp. And then moving in the building, there was some space left by a locksmith that we adapted to our needs. And so we've added, lighting and carpet and just kind of cleaned things up a little bit. This is downstairs. There was a lot of work downstairs. You could see the building was full of just things that were discarded but never thrown away. So we cleaned up the basement, took an awful lot of work, and turned it into the grow space. You'll see the plants. The yellowing, by the way, is fall coming, and those are mature plants ready for harvest. So that's just why they're yellow. They're happy. Here, there was a huge amount of work done. This is that front bump out where we turned it into a kitchen, extraction lab, and packaging area. So we'll see other pictures of that a little bit later on. Jobs. We now employ twice the number that I thought we would. I think my estimation was around 12 or so. We have 26 employees. We have young families with sole earning coming from our operation. Some are just getting married, some are just having children. So it's a vibrant community and a lot of fun to go to work. So we wanted to show you a little bit about where our patients are visiting from, and each of the dots represents a community in the Commonwealth. The size of the dots represents the number of patients from that community that have visited us. So you can see that of course, as we get closer to Ayer, we draw more people from the towns, but we are drawing from quite a ways away, sometimes an hour and a half drive. That's a current active draw right at this point. So we have patients that are coming to town that have never been to Ayer. You can imagine that most people in the east have what they need in the east and don't travel west very much. So many of the patients from the east coming west are new patients that make great comments about the town, especially about the downtown area and how genuine it is and sort of old-fashioned but very convenient. We have lots of people that use many of the businesses in town, fuel, of course, and then some of the other convenience shops, coffee, and things of that nature. So in this time, we feel like we've been a pretty good neighbor. And this is what we've done in the last. Some of the programs we started early on, but this is what we've done mostly in the last 12 or 18 months. We do have a compassionate care program where we give reduced or low-cost medicine to patients that have financial need. We also have a program, volunteer program for veterans, where we give them discounts as well. So that's part of the internal compassionate care program that most people don't know much about. The Town of Ayer Youth Works program, we're very happy about that. And the third top biller is the Goves to Loaves, we call it, which is a fresh vegetable drive from Gove Farm in Leominster to Loaves and Fishes. We bring, once a week, we bring a car or truckload of crates of vegetables to Loaves and Fishes, and then of course they distribute it. I think last year we did 4,000 pounds. And then there's some other, places that we work with. So that's kind of where we've come to. Right now, we're definitely in a time of transition. The recreational law is changing the landscape of the medical program. We are experiencing patients that aren't renewing their registration cards in anticipation of the recreational program coming on in July 1st. So we definitely are medical. We want to stay medical and support the folks that have supported us. And in holding true to that, we also realize that with this market shift, we need to shift with it. And it's been a slow realization, but with the new laws, we understand, what that's going to look like and where we need to go in order to stay viable. So we're looking at more of a hybrid approach. The reality is that we'll have an increased amount of traffic, and we're considering our sort of position on Central Ave at this time with our parking and the number of people coming and going, and we're envisioning problems come July 1st at this location with the volume that its previous states have proven we're going to experience. So we're understanding that's not so suited for expansion. Ayer, has been a great community. We love it. I think just coming to work in Ayer is a great thing. Being able to walk around downtown and get coffee and go to the bank, and it's definitely has a hometown feeling. And what we're hoping to do is keep involved with Ayer in the new landscape that we're facing down, and that would happen through what is now being asked to be documented in a host agreement. So the new regulations have asked us that, or require us to document the host agreement. So we've always had a sort of a verbal understanding of what was going to happen and what we were going to do. The requirements are now that it's a document in writing, and so we had provided like a template starting point to the town of an agreement for us to start discussing, and that's really what we're hoping to keep our mission going with the town, but in a more formal way that's required by the new regulations. So this is our future timeline, starting with right now. Currently, we're evaluating several properties in the town of Ayer. We're actively pursuing 2. We've got backup plans, but we have 2 that we're really excited about. October 1st, right around the corner, we're expecting to be able to submit an offer with contingency for town support. So we've got a little bit of a cart before the horse thing, in that we understand purchasing a property without some documented support agreement between us could lead us down the wrong road. So 30 days from then, we would be looking at purchase sale agreement, closing in the property at the end of the year, and then really rolling up our sleeves and getting back to the same work that we've done over here, which is to start interior renovations during the winter, when the weather isn't so great, and then when spring breaks, get to the outside of the property and start doing what needs to happen there in order to make it accessible for a July 1st opening. There is in April, the application process begins with the Cannabis Control Commission, and then in June we should have determination and then open in July 1st. So this is kind of what we're facing down right now. The Cannabis Control Commission has got a lot of work to do, and essentially in the industry, what's happened is now that we have the law passed, all the regulations need to be formulated and enacted and ready to go so that we can make applications by April 1st. So there's a ton of work and heavy lifting that needs to happen at the state level, and they're working very hard to do it. If that doesn't happen, the law is written that we open July 1st as rec sales regardless under our current regulations. So So that what that tells us is that either way, July 1st is the date that patients have said that they this should happen. They've been pretty understanding, but in that it takes time, but there is a deadline that we're working with, and that's really created a good roadmap for us, but also some sense of urgency. So I'm sure if there's any questions or
Slide back there.
yeah.
John, you're restricted under your agreement in that building, correct? So can there be recreational sales in the building you have now?
Right. Correct. Yep.
So okay.
Yeah. The way that it's come to be is that existing RMDs have an expedited process to the application. The only applications that will be considered are the people that are operating currently or in some part of the process. And that is, and my feeling is that is to make sure that the people that kick off with the rec sales are the people that have experienced all the bumps and bruises along the way, and that can be successful with the program. And not that others can't, and they will, but there's also an awful lot of learning that will have to go along with that.
Yeah, John, you've certainly been a good neighbor, and I never hear anybody complain about anything over there. It was nice to have that program that your son presented.
Oh, sure.
With the Public Works.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
that
you.
was good. Mark said it went really well.
It did.
And he put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really did. And I've met with him at the end of the season, and we were committing to doing it again next year. He learned along the way, things that we can look out for next year. I'm not sure. I'd like to expand the program, but then there's also, limitations to the facility and number of people coming and going and things like that. So those kinds of things can happen down the road for sure. But we're definitely on for this coming season.
Yeah, no, we're very happy with what you've done. Like I said, I've never heard anything bad about the place. I've toured it a couple times, and the problem I see is all the regs aren't done, the state. So I don't know. If I had to say yes, if I had to say so, I'd say yes. But just because of your track record, and but I don't know if we're ready to sign a commitment letter for it with the regs that are out there.
Can I respond to that?
Okay, great.
So I understand that. I don't think we're necessarily looking for a commitment signed on the dotted lines, and then we're off and running. What we're talking about here is, there have been a number of legislations that have come down. Most recently, I think at the end of July, went into effect, and it created a section under the law, Chapter 94G, Section 3D, which spells out that a marijuana establishment or a medical marijuana treatment center seeking to operate or continue to operate shall execute an agreement with the host community, et cetera, et cetera. So we're looking to really comply with the law at this point, even just to go forward as we are. I mean, we find ourselves in a position where now being faced with recreational marijuana, we have to adjust in order to survive.
Absolutely, and it's an investment. I understand that.
But as far as going forward, and we want to commit to the town of Ayer, and have the town of Ayer commit to us to some extent.
Right.
But I don't think we need necessarily to have an agreement that's going to apply for all purposes going forward. It's something that can be revisited. Just having that host agreement in place, I think, is necessary for us to even take that first step, as opposed to looking at other situations.
And you actually have a leg up because of the facility you have now.
Yes,
correct.
We have the leg up because of the expedited process, but that leg up can dissipate with the passage of time. And so if that
Right.
agreement doesn't materialize with us, we find ourselves in the position where we're along with everybody else.
We've had discussion too about limiting the number of licenses.
Yes.
Maybe town meeting article to do so. But, like I said, I'm still,
Yeah,
I'm 100% behind you, John. I wish y'all luck in the world. It's been good for the
Because
community.
we had talked about a moratorium because we weren't sure what was going on. I know things have been updated since the last discussion on that. Obviously, the fear is we get flooded with people from Colorado that, remember when John's license was approved the first time, we had people from all over the place coming in, and we want to minimize that. And I would say the first thing would be location, I think has to be paramount to, one of them Washington Street across from the school. Right, stuff like that. I mean, that's the stuff we would have to discuss. I opposed John's, not John himself, but I opposed it the first time, and truthfully, he's done a great job. I did some work over there. He followed every single rule to the T, just being in the building. So, I mean, I have the utmost faith in that.
Thank you.
I guess it's just a lot of things that we have to discuss internally. Because I think inevitably, it's coming, no matter what we do.
It is coming. And
So-
I agree. And we're going to do a host agreement with anybody. Yeah, I agree with John, because it's track record.
Yeah, Robert, sorry.
Mr. Chairman, to that point, that's why I asked John, and John had asked to come before you tonight. I think without question, the record of Central Ave Compassionate Care has been impeccable, and you are correct. Everything John said he would do, he's done, and we did that without any formal agreement, the support of the Youth Works program, and so forth. And I think the other thing, there is no question that two things are complicating both, or frustrating both to the town and probably Central Ave. One is the fact that these regulations are not in place, and secondly, the issue of time. So as this would be a good segue as far as options as to where we're at. Before I had met with John, we had talked about putting forth a moratorium to give the town time. And I think the main, at least from my perspective, the main driving force for a moratorium, I think the number one concern is that will this town or this board get inundated, as you just said, Mr. Chairman, with applications all over the place. And I know that's sort of the public concern, is that there is an expectation that the downtown would not turn into such a district. It's a legitimate concern. With the moratorium, as mentioned, because John is a registered medical dispensary, he could still move forward with the process, even with the moratorium in place. Since we last met in talking with town council and so forth, another option is that the town, specifically the town meeting, could set the number of licenses that are issued for recreational. And the formula for that is that it's 20% of the town's total package store licenses, which in this case for the town of Ayer would be one license. Now, to set it for one license is a two-part process, and there's time to it. First is, if we are to do that, it has to be done by no later than December 31st of this year to set the license at one. And you can only set it at 20%. It's not like you can set it. And it requires both an article at town meeting, so approval by town meeting, and it does require a ballot, a special election. So in setting it, I mean, we would have to, we could have the article for town meetings consideration for October 23rd. That's the easy part. The other part, which frankly, I guess it's the cost and challenge of a municipality, would the board consider calling a special election? It has to be both, and we have to accomplish both of those before the 31st. And then from there, of course, the Board of Selectmen are the licensing authority, but it's set at one. And as John had mentioned, by virtue of being a registered medical dispensary, there is, at least as it stands right now, as Attorney Lilly mentioned, time is one of the variables, but as it stands right now, it would be expedited with the commission and DPH and would get preference on that. The benefit is that you would have the control of having set it at one license while this experiment further plays out across the state. Number two, it's with a known, proven local entity that's committed to the town. And I do think Selectman Hillman's point, third, which is important, and John, to the extent maybe you can elaborate on that without revealing locations and so forth, I understand and respect that. But one of the main concerns of the board, as we discussed in the town, is of course location. Ideally, they don't want it right on Main Street or so forth, not that we can prevent that, but I think to the extent that there were some assurances that the type of location you're looking at would be conducive to this.
We've been assigned the general business district over here. Right. And we've limited our scope to the general business district areas in town. And certainly wouldn't consider the downtown. We don't feel like that would be an appropriate place for the town or for us, but rather a location that has some ease of access to the highway, but that's also close enough to town for the town to benefit. So again, like not right off the highway or something, but in an area where people can come in, turn in, park with plenty of parking, good lighting, and then be able to leave without congestion. So a property that they can drive onto, park, turn around, and then navigate out safely. And so we're also want to find and are looking at properties that are vacant and that we can, kind of do what we did over here and repeat that, get things back up and active. So did you have something?
Yeah, if I can add one thing. There are stipulations, as there were in the medical laws, about distance from schools and children, places where children congregate, I think is the language they use. So of course not on Washington Street across the street from the school.
Yeah. Right. Many of the we don't have the regulations, but we do know that many of the folks that are going to do the groundwork at the CCC, the Cannabis Control Commission, are going to be the same people that we're interacting now at the DPH. So the state is also looking at the sort of the proven track record of these folks and moving them over there as well. So they're mirroring what they're doing with the RMDs with their workforce that they have now. So we have the feeling that the regulations that we're going to be exposed to are going to be the same stringent regulations that we have now, but yet some differences in the rec market would happen. I think, and you had some knowledge on dosaging and things like that.
Yeah, we are expecting some more stringent regulations in terms of potency of certainly infused products, as well as I know there's some talk about the actual plant material. So I think we are expecting a little bit more regulation and stringency on how things are packaged, what they can be labeled as, what they can contain potency-wise.
Mm-hmm. And the medical market may, because of the nature, be allowed to have higher potency, products for patients with. Yeah, exactly. So we're to answer the question, we're looking in the general business. We feel that's how we've been treated, and it's worked well. It seems to be the right assignment for us. So we're keeping our eyes in that area.
Do you plan on keeping this one too? Or?
So we want to stay committed to the medical. We aren't sure if the regulations would be allowing us to have having everything over the same counter or the same plants, or we're not sure how that will go.
Okay.
So yes, we definitely want to stay here and in that building, cultivating and processing, and possibly just doing medical. But we're realizing that the move into rec as it needs to happen and leaving medical here would mean double staff. So we're trying to figure out what those numbers would look like.
Now, would you be cultivating At your new location?
No, we're only looking for
Retail?
for retail and processing
Okay.
in this new location, or just simply retail. Yep. So.
We have, I mean, besides John, we have a lot to discuss internally about host agreement, taxes. I mean, I know this was billed as a windfall for communities in Colorado, and
Yeah.
was it really? Probably not, but it's here. Whether we liked it, I'm not sure you even were in favor of it at the time. I'm not putting you on the spot, I'm just saying it kind of came out of nowhere, and I didn't vote for it, but it passed. And now we have to figure out the best way to navigate it.
Right.
So there's a lot to think about.
And like I said, I'm in full support of John. As being the one and only, if that's the case. He's certainly proven himself.
I agree.
You know.
And I think you'd have the town support.
Right.
And would it have to go to town, I mean, so would it just be the board issuing a license, or would we, I know you said town meeting, but for the,
To set the license at
Okay.
1, if that's the option, which is 20%.
okay,
Will require town meeting's approval and a special election,
Got it.
and it has to happen by December 31st of this year. That would then set it at 1 license. There would still be a process, of course, but as mentioned, that as a registered medical dispensary, there is expedited preference as it stands now to John. Then you would issue the 1 license. Then moving forward, if at some point the town wanted to additional licenses, first, the regs will be out by July 1st, we hope, and I imagine that could be obviously revisited by town meeting. So it's not like it locks the door forever, it would take additional action. But the moratorium could be enacted by town meeting on the 23rd, and it can be up to 18 months. As we understand it through talking through council, because John is a registered medical dispensary already, moratorium does not impact his process moving forward. However, at the end of that moratorium period, it still could be open season, if you will. I just think from just my opinion vantage point, and it's ultimately up to the people at town meeting and the ballot, it has to pass both, but by setting the license on 1, it prevents, because you know what's going to happen on the recreational front. I mean, we saw it on the medical front, and it comes to you, the board. There'll be applications all over the place. I mean, this, I
we're
think...
not forced into it though, right? Because I know John had to meet this criteria and he needed
Oh,
our
right,
support before you could even really submit your application, I believe.
Right.
Is it going to be different with this? Here, you get 4 licenses, do what you...
I mean, that's
So really, no one moves forward with the state at all without the town's blessing. And it's sitting right here, yeah. Regardless of moratoriums and things like that, it's really up to you folks to say, yeah, we want these people in town or what.
And I think it's important to separate out the 2 issues here. We're talking about the need for us to be going forward in whatever form we're going forward in, that we need to have the town's support to do that. You're also talking about a moratorium, which, because it's an ordinance or a bylaw, doesn't affect, according to the law, the existing. So if you're setting that up through the town, that's great. But I think we need to have something in place, and really it could be something innocuous that is due to expire when the regs come out, and then we reconfigure at that point. But it's an agreement setting forth the conditions to have the medical establishment or the medical marijuana center located within the host community, and what those conditions are to include. What does the town want? What is it that we're going to be providing?
Mm-hmm.
So we would, what I would throw out there is the youth program, that youth outreach program would be something that we could put into the agreement as something that we're committing to do going forward. But that's just an example. I mean, it's a wide range of
We'll ask
things.
for more.
I'm sure you will. No, that's good.
I will. Janice, go ahead.
So Robert, so we have town meeting on October 23rd.
Mhm.
Okay, so if we had the warrant article on October 23rd, when would we set the special election? Sometime in November?
Probably.
So that we could have the results to get it all,
Midterms
you
this year,
know,
right? So
fine
it's
turned
not-
Yeah.
by December 31st.
Yeah.
And we currently have like this verbal host agreement, right?
Right,
Right
everything
to
that's,
the-
yeah.
So, yeah, that would just be putting the verbal agreement in writing,
Well,
agreeing to what we've already put in verbal.
Well, I think we're going to tweak this agreement probably.
Well, yeah,
Because
yeah.
John was more of a nonprofit. I mean, it was a little bit different situation. I
Yeah,
think.
but what I'm saying is right
In
now,
that-
so far we have everything that we've verbally agreed on, we can put in paper and then obviously, you know, tweak it a little
Yeah,
better
'cause I
to
think we'd have
benefit
to
the
meet and
town.
discuss and negotiate, obviously.
Yeah.
What if we don't? Like, so we don't have to say yes. So do we have to have a special town meeting? We can all. I mean, what is it? What is it?
Well, it opens it up.
Just
for,
it's
10
people from Colorado that come in and.
Right, we've been
Can we just
advised.
say no? Sorry, we're not interested. We have to listen.
We've been advised by talking to other communities, the MMA as well as town council and so forth, that it would be prudent for the town of Ayer on the policy end to take some action this fall. And so the two options are, as we discussed before, the moratorium, which town meeting would approve or not. If they approved it, it can be into effect up to 18 months. It does not affect John in that sense. But when that expires, I mean,
It's free-for-all.
It's free-for-all. The other option is that you can set the license to one. Requires, again, the article, which is the easy part. It does require a special election. Would probably occur in November. I mean, I have to talk to the town clerk and so forth. And the estimated cost on a special election is about $3,000, which wasn't budgeted, but I mean, and it would have to pass town meeting and the election, and that process has to be completed by December 31st.
Well, I definitely think we should just go ahead and set the license to, or at least ask the town to set the license to.
I did too, but I think in all fairness to John that we should have something, an emotion to say, go ahead.
What do you mean right now?
Yeah?
As far as we like you, go ahead.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
a little slow.
No, I mean, just judging by past performance.
I don't think we could have a better candidate that, you know, for this future endeavor.
It would allow us to, like, continue on with our business. We've been sort of in this together and discovering the process, and now it is a time-sensitive thing. And we're looking at the calendar and the timeline to say, you know, 7 or 8 months to purchase a building, get it up and running is going to be a tough stretch for us to do. So we definitely want to work with Ayer. It would be helpful to know that we're going in the right direction with you. Yeah.
And no disrespect to you, I'm just throwing this out there, so don't take this the wrong way. We could set the license. I mean, we don't have to approve any licenses, right? Or has that changed? I know some communities have banned it, and is that going to probably be tossed?
Well, the unclear piece, because the regulations aren't done, is how they're
Those
going
dry
to
times,
calculate
liquor
the
stores.
number of licenses. I mean, we know this piece of it exactly. I mean, the assumption is on the local level that the Board of Selectmen would be the licensing authority as they are on the alcohol matter. So there are a lot of unknowns in that sense, which is frustrating, I think, for everybody on the regulation end. I also think that John is asking, obviously, is consideration for the board support to move forward. I don't think that would preclude the town and you negotiating the host agreement. Because, I mean, would you be amenable to some other considerations in the host agreement in terms
Absolutely.
of benefits to the town?
No, I'd love to hear what the town would would like. You know, we came up with the youth program because we thought that was a good idea, but if
It
there
was.
are other like, yeah, I
No,
mean,
we
I
like
think it
that.
benefits the
Yeah.
youth, and that's really the sort of the audience that we want to protect. Everyone wants to protect them, but yeah, if there are other things that the town considers important, that's absolutely important to
Well, I
us.
think we have to, obviously, we have to speak with the chief. You know, I'm sure he has some input on it. And then whatever else we feel we want from it. I mean, there has to be a benefit to the community.
Yeah.
And for something like this.
The chief is, not to speak for him currently, but in our conversation when we brought the Give Back program to his attention, like, we're ready to go, he said, John, do something for the kids. He said, we're okay. You haven't cost us any problems. What the chief told me he wanted to see at the time was something for the youth, and perhaps it's something through the school. We had sort of an idea to start a mindful program, which is training for teachers for mindfulness, which is like a sort of meditation, relaxing, calming exercises that once the teachers could learn through this program, they could then be qualified to teach children, even in the young grades, how to sort of like shift their mind into neutral a little bit, relax, and then approach things from a fresh standpoint. And it can begin with just like simple breathing exercises and things like that. So we looked at that program. We brought it in-house. I think like eight or 10 of my employees took it. They gave me feedback on the program, and we learned what our pitfalls. My pitfall was I did one class and couldn't get back to it. So I need it more than anybody. But the point is that with that feedback, we could then take it to the school to say, look, this is a program that your teachers want to volunteer for over the summer months. We'll pay for their tuition and we'll pay for their time to take the class, and then see how that works and see if it would then transfer into their classroom curriculum to teach children how to, just be calm in points where they're stressed. So that seems to be one of the bigger problems for our really small youth, is the amount of pressure that's being put on.
Yeah.
So,
Robert, is there any way that we could make a commitment to John?
Yes, I mean, through the chair, I mean, it's ultimately, the board could make that commitment. And when we met, they had submitted a proposed agreement, if you will, and it was reviewed by council, and it was just a shell, and it's not a reflection of that. And council's, concern with that type of approach, obviously, is that the regulations aren't in place, and why would the town council's concern, which is mine as well, I think, as it is yours, is the town doesn't want to bind itself or give away any rights that may or not exist. And I'm not saying that's anybody's intent, but again, it ultimately, as John mentioned too, for this to move forward legally and procedurally, that host agreement ultimately has to be in place as well.
What about a motion to enter into negotiations exclusively with Mr. Hilliard for a host agreement pending town meetings approval, disapproval of one license? Would that be enough? Because I mean, we can't decide anything here, but I mean, at least committing this board to John.
I would just.
I'm just concerned about the town meeting part of that, to the extent to which you're suggesting that the agreement needs to go to town meeting.
No.
I'm just saying,
the
so
license
exclusively with John, and let's say town meeting, you never know with town meeting, you could get, we want 3. I mean, we've had that, we did that, the citizens petition liquor license, and people amended it to 2, and then, to ask for 2 more, and it failed.
It blew up, yeah.
So, my point is that I don't think people will object to 1, but they could say 3. So it's hard for us to say we'd be exclusively negotiate with John until that is solidified. Which we can.
the language I think is like 20%, and it happens that Ayer has 5 or 6 licenses, meaning 20% of that is one. I don't have a problem with 2. I mean, competition is always a thing, and it's good for business. So I really want to just kind of come out and say that I'm not looking for just me and shut everybody else out.
We don't want. I mean, I speak for myself. I don't want this to be. Let's go to Ayer 7,000 people and stop at 4 different pot shops because that one doesn't have that and they have this, and that's not what this community wants.
And so the 20% advertised or is something that maybe Carly can rely on when the phone rings. We have the 20%. Boom. And then that's the end of the subject. And then, of course, again, competition is good. If we can prove that this is successful to the town and it benefits everybody, the town would want to come back and say, okay, we want 4 or we want another one or something.
Well, I was gonna say that, the warrant article, when when it comes up and everything, we can remind everybody that, regulation is 20%, so they can't amend it.
No, I think we could amend it, right?
I think it's no less than 20%.
than
20%?
Yeah.
I think that's how.
So what would be the max?
You
We have
could
6,
have
8.
we have 6
6.
package store licenses.
And that's the last thing we want is
Yeah.
we have too many of those.
And we actually.
But we do gotta get moving on at least setting something.
So, would that
'Cause
work?
if we don't, that's gonna cause a big
Motion
problem.
to negotiate with Mr. Hillier and his
For a host agreement?
for a host agreement exclusively pending the outcome of the town meeting vote?
Yeah, I don't think we need the pending.
Okay, no, that's fine,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
I think it'd be proper that the board made a motion to authorize negotiations for the host agreement exclusively, because we need to do that anyway. And
Because we need to do our research too. We need to see what
right, so
towns in Colorado did, what has worked, what hasn't worked. And I know there's taxes that are separate, that are based on the state, right, that come back to the community. But that's already set.
So that would be, the board could make that motion for that piece of it. And then what would be helpful, because you're going to be approving the warrant at your next meeting, the 3rd, and then the second issue is, do you want us to prepare the article for setting it at 1 and calling the special election? Or do you want to proceed with the moratorium? I mean, I gave you, my opinion is to put it to the people on setting it for 1, with the understanding, as Selectman Livingston mentioned, it doesn't lock the door forever as this moves forward. If there's a need, there is a process to increase that amount.
Well, it certainly gives us control.
It does give you the control. And I think another last point, because it is a unique situation in the sense that the RMD status puts him at the accelerated preference anyway. There's no other RMD
Yes,
Ayer.
he's gonna put it anyway,
There's
I mean, if we have to approve it,
So I think for the purposes of tonight, if the board, a motion to authorize negotiations exclusively with Central for the development of the host agreement. And then secondly, I wouldn't require a motion, but I think the direction is to prepare for the setting article for the fall. And at the next meeting, we would have the information of potential dates for you to call the special election. That we couldn't do that tonight anyway.
Which you would also have the benefit of being able to announce to the people at town meetings if we're to get it nicer too, so, for a special election.
So what Robert said, so moved.
Seconded.
Oh, actually, Chris said it first.
Is there a timeline to the host agreement? I mean, I really don't want to come off as being too aggressive or anything, but with the host agreement in place by the end of October, then we can move forward with our timeline.
And is the 23rd?
End of October?
Should be.
You would have to have a town meeting at that point.
Yeah, we don't want to put a date on it though, but, I mean, in good faith,
Fair enough.
Robert
Fair
will-
enough, yeah.
Robert, you will.
I think, did you want to add to that, Chris? Or?
I'm sorry, you're saying that the negotiations would close after town meeting, or my feeling and my preference is, obviously, in separating the two issues out, that we have something going forward, either committing to revisiting this after the town meeting, that's fine if you want to do that, or upon the passing of regulations, but have something in effect that, I think, as we're saying, that's already in effect right now, with maybe an end date as far as how.
Well, I think that's what we're saying. I think we're saying that, you know, what was already been verbally agreed to is now going to go in black and white. Other things that could benefit the town would be added into this, in these negotiations. I think what we're saying as far as town meeting goes is because town meeting could make it blow up on all our bases. They could say yes, they could say no. So that's why we keep talking about we have to find out what town meeting is going to say. So we're agreeing to go into negotiations, okay? And then, but we have to make sure that you understand, I believe this is what we're saying, that if town meeting doesn't like anything that we've said, then we're stuck in an aspect.
Right.
Okay, so what we're gonna ask town meeting is to set the license at 1, you know, explaining to town meeting that, you know, we'd like to set it at 1, get this groundwork laid while the state, quite honestly, gets off their duff and fix this problem, because this has gone on a year now. I mean, this is extremely sad. Meanwhile, the fact that you are so well known in this community and there hasn't been one iota of a problem, I don't think there's going to be a problem, okay? But if town meeting says, nope, we don't even want to worry about this, we don't like this, or we want to set it to 5, then it's set to 5, they say it's set to 1. But right now, do the negotiations and then find out what town meeting says.
I hate to push back, I'm not. What I'm wondering though is, if town meeting says we don't like what you've put together, does that change how you would approach a host agreement with John?
I would think the only thing that would change is if town meeting voted to put a moratorium on it.
Right.
Even if, let's say they say we want to have 3 licenses, which I doubt, we're still,
Right.
he's first in mind, so I would think negotiations would still continue.
Right.
I think the only variable would be
It's not a moratorium, as far as he's concerned.
It wouldn't affect him anyway.
Yeah, so there's really not much.
We have to do
So I don't think we're affected by
host
what happens at
agreement
town.
Yeah, I agree. So we have to negotiate the host agreement. So I think we should start, you know, throwing out ideas. I mean, we might not have, October 31st might come along, you might not be happy with it, we might not be happy with it, you know, it's negotiations.
That happens.
But ideally, yeah, I think that would really be the only thing.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with that. Just, yeah, the good faith estimate in time, and we've always worked together, and I think we'll continue, yeah.
Connie?
Mr. Chairman, if town meeting was to vote to put a moratorium into place, could we not, before the expiration of that moratorium, then authorize a certain number of licenses? Or did I miss something?
Well, the moratorium's a real gray area too, isn't it?
Through the chair, Connie, can you just repeat that?
If town meeting was inclined to impose a moratorium for the period of 18 months mentioned, could not the town, prior to the expiration of that moratorium period, also then have a vote at a subsequent town meeting and decide how many licenses the town would want for retail marijuana? I mean, I don't see what the rush is. If we don't have regulations in place, a moratorium will buy us time.
But it's not going to affect him. The moratorium doesn't affect him.
The other,
He can still
That's the
go
caveat
forward.
of the whole thing. I understand what you're
So
saying.
this
That's
is-
what
yeah.
we were thinking initially, working up to this, was that just let's do a moratorium for 18 months, just let this thing roll out, because you know it's going to be interesting when this thing goes live July 1st, unless things change drastically. But with the new regulations with John already.
well, and the other wrench to Connie's question, that what we do know, we've been told that on this issue of setting the license, that it has to be in place by December 31st. Now, I didn't make
Yeah,
that up, but that timeline is the other wrench in it.
Right.
So in other words, if we wanted to set it to 1, we have till December 31st of 2017, a town meeting and an election to approve both.
And we only have to approve one, whether that happens or not, but we're gonna get, every meeting, there's gonna be someone in here, if one's approved. Because we saw what happened with.
But then we have the time, as far as, being able to wait a while before we go back to the town and say, okay, it's been up to some amount of time since the law went into effect. And, we're asking you if you want to raise the licenses to 2 or 3.
Yeah, I just don't see how that would ever happen, but.
But I mean,
it could be.
we're kind of in a, we're kind of in a rock and a
It's
hard
the
place. We got to set it to
December
a minimum
31st.
of 1.
Yeah, so that's the caveat, I think, Connie, is we have to, with that, one license has to be, for some reason, on the 31st, by the 31st of December, right? Or we open ourselves up to people applying left and right.
Right, so there will be nothing in the law, so if someone approaches you and nothing's in place by December 31st, you open yourself up to, legal exposure where you don't have anything banning or limiting it.
We don't like you because we don't, and then they can say, well, we have every right to come here.
Right, you don't have anything
Right.
locally
No
to prevent us.
Yeah.
Right.
But if, like to John's point, if, we go through on this trajectory and then ABC company calls, we already have, we're limited to 1, we're in negotiations with the company for a host agreement, kind of just ends it right there,
Right.
So.
Mr. Chairman, it seemed to me that a better approach would be for the board maybe to solicit our state representatives and see if that December 31st date for setting the number of licenses could be moved in light of the fact that the state still doesn't have regulations in place.
It's the first I heard of it was today, but that's the problem with this. We've been dealing with this, and as you saw, they negotiated, they went back and forth, and it feels like now the commission's established, things are starting to move faster. And I
We
don't
feel
know.
the same way.
Yeah,
We
like
really
it
do.
was, everything's changed. I mean, we meet this summer 3 times. It felt like there was something different every time.
The other sad part is, I hate to remind everybody, but we had our state representatives sit at this table and state that prior to the election of last year that voted in recreational marijuana, sit here and state that they would, if it was voted yes, that they would purposely slow the process of legislation down. So they told us they were going to do it, and they created their own mess. So now, all of a sudden, this December 31st date, you really think that they're going to move it? I mean, they've created such a mess. I'm sorry. Our state officials created this mess. They made it bigger than I think it ever needed to be because they were in such denial as to what the people were saying. You didn't listen to them, and then they purposely went out of their way to say, well, we're just going to slow everything down. We're just going to ignore everything. Voted themselves a raise, but they couldn't get this down. So now the power becomes into the people. So right now we know one we can deal with because we have an excellent candidate right here. The moratorium is not going to affect him, and we're not going to open ourselves up next year when the law does go into effect, and then everything blows up, and next thing you know, we got 10 in there, and we've got nothing on record. But everything it opens up into the law next year, come spring of 2019, after it's been into effect for a few months. It could always go in front of the town to say, okay, would you like to raise it to 2 licenses or 3 licenses? We're still in control as the people. So I think we got to do it this way to at least get ourselves legally protected and in some type of control.
Well, ultimately,
To your point, I'm sorry, Chris, but to your point, Janice, for example, if the regulation that is, or the law is now that if come July 1st, the Cannabis Control Commission hasn't completed their job we open for rec, the
Which is
existing
entirely
garage is
possible. I don't
open
even
for
think
rec
they filmed it
anyway.
yet, right?
Right.
We
Just
just
the
use
point.
our existing
Right.
regulations and carry on business only. Now it's 21 and over, and we're concerned about where the position we're in if that were to happen.
Right.
That's it, in the limited amount of time we have to make that right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there was a special town meeting to approve this initially, correct? Back in, I know there was a vote.
There was a special town meeting put forth
For this, for
more
compassionate care.
for a moratorium, which was defeated
That's
by
right.
town
Correct,
meeting.
so the moratorium was defeated when medical marijuana became legal.
And this town did overwhelmingly vote yes on that question. So
Yes.
we run into that problem again, you know. That being said, that doesn't mean that those people who voted yes then didn't see the chaos going on and would say, you know, that they would like a moratorium.
Well, in town meeting, it speaks for,
Right.
you know, we can make the case and John
Right.
can make the case and I
Right.
don't really see it.
But I think if we don't get some type of a control on it, we're gonna really be sorry.
At the same time, making a commitment to John,
Yeah,
because he's made a commitment to the town.
yeah,
And he's lived up to that commitment.
Yeah,
and plus.
And so, like I said, I didn't vote for John the first time. I like John. I've done work for him. I don't want it now. I mean, I've said that, but. if
Well, I
this
think
is-
it too. I mean,
If
I
I-
drive by there sometimes and I'll be like,
I had someone
What
ask me
is
last
that
week,
again?
when's it
And
gonna
I'm like,
open?
oh, yeah.
So, I mean, they give you an idea of what's going on at your place. Someone asked me when it's gonna open. I said like a year and a half ago, I think. But,
Yeah.
yeah, 0 calls, 0
So,
police,
I-
0 fire,
did we-
0 ambulance.
No, we
So,
didn't.
yeah, motion on the table.
motion's on the table. So, did you second?
What was the motion again? We're gonna
So
enter
moved.
into an inclusive agreement? That was so long ago.
Enter into.
Yes, yes, it was seconded, yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we'll be talking to you.
Yeah.
That's with Robert and
And let's-
work
yeah,
out the details.
this is great. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very
And to
much.
hear from the town, like what can we do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's great. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you, Chris.
Thanks, you too.
Take care.
And then, Mr. Chairman, to close out the issue, in terms of preparing the draft warrant for the 3rd, we're going to move with the limiting approach or the moratorium.
I think, as much as I was in favor of the moratorium, I think I should go with the limitation approach, because I think we're gonna have a license.
Okay, so,
I mean, do you disagree? I mean, I think if we go with the moratorium, we're just, if
It's an
John
alienated
ends up
yeah.
now working under different rules because of his license, then where does our power come from?
Yeah, you're
We
gonna
negotiate.
Have one anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So why not negotiate and do
Set it.
locations and what do we get back?
So what I will do for the meeting for October 3rd, then, we will have the warrant article prepared, and I will talk to the town clerk with the proposal for the special town meeting, special elections. I'll be asking you to call that
Yeah,
on
and
the
it's a shame,
3rd.
of course, we don't have a reporter for the 7th straight month, but, I mean, it's not that the board approves dispensary,
We're worried about-
No, it's going,
store license.
it's
I mean,
being put to
yeah.
the
The
people.
state
Yeah.
actually issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, sorry, we got off track there a little bit, as we tend to do. Nasoya odor issue update?
Mr. Chairman, if there isn't objection from the board,
Do you mind?
gentlemen, you want to come up?
Sorry to keep you so long.
This is Mr. Alvin Moquette and Mr. Daniel Jang from the Soya, and we have that slide.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
So, Mr. Chairman, as the Board of Selectmen have kept this item active on the agenda regarding the odor issues,
I just forwarded it because.
so in terms of a brief update, and this was sent to the board today, this came from Mr. Maquette, this is an update on the short-term action plan since we last met on August 29th, and as you know, Representative from Minnesota, Mr. Wareham, was here at the last meeting. And you can see that the 2 new sensors have been installed over the large scrubber on 917. Another 2 are on order. The unit on hand for the installation of the ORP and the transfer tank is being installed on the 20th, tomorrow. The third scrubber installation, the air quality consultants are in direct communication with the DEP officials, and the town was copied on the communication to Nasoya. The DEP is going to waive the permit process, which is a positive thing in that it will accelerate the timeline, hopefully, for installation. So the DEP has waived the permit process for the new scrubber installation. Of course, Nasoya is waiting for the official letter on that, but we do have a letter memorializing that discussion. And POs are being released to contractors to start the project. And then you can see this, the air sampling started on September 14th. This is with the professional external consultant to review air quality and the current scrubber performance, and the estimated completion on the modeling analysis over the scrubber exhaust stack will be conducted this week. And as we discussed, they're willing to share those findings with the building commissioner and Bridget if there are.
Isn't the exhaust stack only an issue when it smells? I mean, or is it where it ends? Because it's, you weren't here last meeting, but it's basically where it ends up settling, I think, is the smell, because it doesn't settle with your property most of the time.
Yes.
So I think that was the concern. Is it high enough? Is it where it's located? Is it settling down on that valley there?
Yeah, and part of the study that the consultant is doing is to determine if it's been affected by the wind and the location of the stack. That's why the elevation has been considered now in a modeling, dispersion modeling that he's running this week, and that's the intention.
Good. That was. Did your sensors pick up this report last night?
Yes, yes. We did. We got it from the DP, from Michelle. So we got it right away. And Tom Perry and myself, we both drove up to the neighborhood. We did smell something on Westford Road, and then we went up. And we went up as soon as we turned to the Mulberry Circle neighborhood. We couldn't detect anything, and I believe that was our answer to you guys. But
when I came through last night, smelling anything, but I was later from the complaint. But I mean, there's been a couple, like every once in a while you get like a little whiff of it, which is normal. Fine.
Bursts.
Yeah, but no, nothing like it was in the past. In the last month, I think it's happened.
Yes.
But yesterday when we had the crane, we had the air sampling was going on. So if there was something exhausted, probably they're going to be captured during the air sampling process.
So basically, the air quality project, we're taking multiple samples. So we started last week. We started on Thursday, and the reason for that is because the plant might behave different during different days of production. So we wanted to start on Thursday, and now we're going to continue Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday again, and just to do a four sample analysis to see how that goes and see if we have to make any changes on the new scrubber that's coming in, and that will help us to give us an indication of if we need to improve something else, if we need to look for more capacity, and things like that. So we're just trying to better understand what's exactly happening.
Well, I mean, not to belabor it again, I mean, it's been one major smell in the last month, and then whatever yesterday's was, which it was something.
Yeah.
But it's definitely been better. So obviously, what you've been doing.
And these are the kind of things that we're looking to remedy, to fix with the installation of the new system. So this is what we would like to take care of, just to go completely.
It doesn't happen.
Yes,
there's some major anomaly.
Exactly, unless there is something catastrophe type.
Additionally, the last piece is Nasoya, for us, we're going to be providing them with the addresses of all of the abutters and neighbors, and it's my understanding that the Sawyer is going to be doing some direct outreach and communication.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Which we all agree is, I think, a good idea.
Yeah, because not everybody comes to these meetings, but then I go to the soccer field and it was like, oh my God, what are you doing about that company? And it's like, well, have you been watching? We're working to try to fix it, so some outreach would be good. I think the people would appreciate that.
Yeah. Definitely, that's part of the plan. So that's why we're working with town's office to get the people, list of the people affected by it. So we would like to reach out to them.
Good. Great. All right. Well, hopefully,
if you want to get your Tuesday nights back, you better.
Yeah, we know.
All right. I mean, I don't think there's much. I mean, so far so good.
We will continue to keep you informed, and
Yeah.
We'll work with Ms. Sawyer and DEP and move forward, but I think from our end, the town's end, things are improving. There was a small incident last night, but they are,
Yeah, it
as
was,
you can see, committed to
yeah.
It's heading in the right direction.
heading in the right
Yeah, and like I
direction.
said, living down there, would be all over it if it was, and it's
Yeah.
definitely been an improvement.
All right.
All right, gentlemen, nice to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for all
Thank
the work. and,
Have a good night.
Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you.
Yes, sorry for the.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks for hanging out. Brett, you don't pass over the table, so there's no reporter to talk about it, but.
They're really concerned about them.
I'll send it to you.
They want their attention, you gotta serve them.
Oh, is it Deepa Square?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't do it.
No, you don't. You go get to it.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, with us tonight, Mr. Mohammed Khan, the MART administrator, Mr. George Kahale from MRPC, and Alan Manoyan, Director of Economic Development. The purpose or our goal this evening is to show to the board and to the public presentation of the Depot Square.
Janice.
Okay.
Feel better.
Is the presentation of the conceptual designs for Depot Square. And before we get into that, just so the board is aware, in terms of update on the project, the first, we understand.
Sorry.
All right, so before we get into this, just a quick update on the overall project. First, we understand that the Park Street side, the deck, is about 80% design, and we're waiting for those plans post-haste, and when we get those, we'll get those to the board.
Are we still on track with that November?
Into the public.
The latest initiative, do I recall that correctly? From the engineer?
By November, December. Right?
Okay, they have the final plans, okay.
So that's for the Park Street
Yeah.
side and the crossing. The second piece, the Advocates Building has been completely vacated and the utilities have been shut off. The project went out to bid for demolition. We do have to move a water line, which we're doing. It is still on schedule for demolition for this fall.
Okay.
The transfer of the DCR lot to the town of Ayer is
Still going on?
it's eminent. I want to give Carly a shout out. God bless her, working with
Yeah,
DCR
not
and DCR.
but you guys.
That transfer is almost there. So for the purposes of tonight, we wanted to get input on the conceptual design for Depot Square. And there are two concepts for consideration. We'll start with the first one, which we'll call this concept one.
The other
And-
one.
Oh, you want, this one's number one?
Yeah,
for you?
this is
Okay.
number one.
Okay.
George,
Be serious.
concept one.
This
So-
is the number, no priority.
So, for the benefit of the public, in an interest of time, so this is the access off of Main Street, comes in the kiss and ride drop off, handicap parking. This, if you will, for the sake of visualization, is the existing Advocates Building will be removed. The restroom facility, bike racks. On this one, this is a shelter, so that for people to sit, shelter, the pavers with the walkway, the fountain,
That was my next question.
here, fountain, which I'll have Alan talk about, some other, plantings, and we're talking, this is conceptual, so obviously the issue of the landscaping and so forth, this is the access to the commuter platform, the dedicated sidewalk. This would be the permanent fence there. And that's sort of the function in a nutshell.
We'll just show the second one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then the second one, what's sort of different, as you saw these specialized pavers, this has,
I
more.
should understand, that's all hardscape design treatment. You're
Right.
seeing all those color lines.
This has two sort of waiting stations, if you will, or two protected areas. The bathroom, the fountain, and then so the real difference is sort of the layout of these two waiting areas and sort of that design there.
Actually, there are three.
Go ahead, Alan.
There is one not covered.
Oh,
One isn't covered, is that?
Yeah, that dark one.
this?
No. To the left, near the restroom.
Oh, right here?
No. Yeah, here.
Oh, that's another.
Okay.
Those are benches, these are seating areas, picture, beautiful benches that you sewed, so you all sit together, as are these. And just one other thing here, that little square area there is a site we've dedicated for the introduction of a new piece of public art, public sculpture.
Yes.
That should be actually expressing the heritage of our railroad and all that. But what you're looking at when you see these lines, these are hardscape design patterns. So I think the difference between the two is this is very geometric in its design, presentation. You see the forms are very geometric, which is pretty cool. This is more of an organic or natural. So they're two kind of different things in terms of landscape design and just sort of what you feel and experience when you're out there. Some people might prefer to see more of an organic, curvilinear type of a design feel. Some might say, no, I kind of like the straight geometric kind of, but those just sort of are hardscape color design treatment patterns on the hardscape.
Where's the actual entrance to the cross to the station?
Right here. You can see
Oh, in the corner, okay.
right here.
All right.
Yeah, this is the existing one.
In benches, because I kind of envision this as a place in the summer where you go grab a coffee and,
Yes.
as a resident, you're not just getting on the train. But
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, that's why it's so important. This is going to be the first, true high-quality public space downtown
Yeah.
park. So this is going to be the place where, and I'll tell you, on Thursday or Friday evenings, we'll sponsor it, so there'll be a little jazz combo out there, or harp, so there'll be music. And this is where you'll go and sit before you go out for dinner downtown. You meet your friends, take lots of cool selfies
So
around
next
the
fan
fountain.
hall.
That's right, interact with all the commuters, and it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. These, Mr. Chairman, these very hard concrete, granite seating.
Oh, okay.
It is not wood benches or.
So they're sturdy and.
Yes.
And at the
You can choose the color.
beginning of the walkway near Main Street, there's going to be lights.
Yes, there will be.
Press a button, they light up and take the
Yes,
cross.
yeah.
So what?
Pedestrian crossing.
Yeah, right.
Maybe just put them in over.
So once we get to the purposes, we had hoped to have everything. So for the purposes of tonight is the Depot Square, but to your point, Selectman Luca, the next meeting when we talk about the concept of the deck on the other side, we're going to also talk about and give input on the crossing.
Yeah, right now it's just Depot Square.
Right, but yes, good point.
And we cannot, and this is all MBTA and the landowner, this is not fenced in, correct? This won't be separated from this entrance?
There'll be a fence.
No,
Because
no, we're not planning now to put any fencing. There will be some flowers, beds.
More of a border treatment.
Yeah,
to
well, I know there was
delineate,
still
define
some
the
right-of-way issues with that
Yeah.
landowner and the MBTA, so I didn't know, I know it won't be completely separated from the easement issues, I guess, right?
Mr. Chairman, as far as I understand, the MBTA is maintaining its rights as far as the easement is concerned. And to the extent I did discuss with the MBTA and Mr. Boyle, obviously, this is the access to the platform. And if you've been down there, as we're, per this board, have been discussing what they're going to do for interim improvements to the platform, which they need to outside of this project, we'd really like them to make some paving improvements and so forth.
Correct,
there.
and that's the reason
That's
why
outside
it
of
needs to come.
the project, and we can talk about the MBTA after, because we do have an update with them. But
Okay. No, I like it. I'm just thinking of separation from the people coming through here and hopping over. Two handicap spots, is that, or ADA car parking, I guess it's called?
Yeah.
And handicap. This is what they can do with the area we have. We couldn't accommodate more than two.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, as the board is aware, in the next evolution, which is the handicap platform, the issue of the number of spaces would obviously increase, and we would deal with that then. But for the purposes for this project,
Sure.
that was the extent, the best configuration to get those in there.
Mr. Chairman, the plaza itself of Depot Square Plaza, it's going to be elevated. It is not straight with the pavement.
Okay.
Not flush.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Like
okay.
the height of the sidewalk.
Oh, like granite curving. But I like both of them. I have trouble with this stuff, that's right. And it's similar.
And bike racks will be shaded too with a shelter for the bicycles.
And there's going to be plenty of lighting, correct?
Yes, all decorated lighting on the sidewalk and on the plaza and in the kiss right area. Plus, in the middle of the kiss right, we created a rain garden. The storm water comes inside, and there will be some vegetation there.
Yeah. And, lighting, will it be LEDs?
Oh, hopefully, of course, yeah.
Alan, do you like the location of the fountain?
Do I like, I'm sorry, Mr.
Are you happy with the location of the fountain? Seriously.
I drove them all crazy over it. I
can't
tortured
imagine.
these folks. No, I do. When you look at the, the unified composition, the balance of things, we feel that's an ideal location for the. We know now it was not historically a fountain. It was it's an equine water basin.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. But don't call it a trough.
Tie your horses up, sit down on the coffee, and catch a train.
It's a historic and equine water basin. Historic.
Awesome.
It's really cool.
I said you can tie your horses up and have a coffee and catch a train.
I think we need to do it open the park. We need to ceremonial. Maybe Mohammed could come in on a white stallion. Wheelbarrow.
Thinking that may want to stay down the road now? Kathleen?
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
With regard to, I don't necessarily see it on this, but on the second option with that one, do the structures have, the shaded structures have size on them? Because I'll tell you that the commuters use the Advocates building now. They stand to the side of it, on the side of it, to block the wind in the winter. So there's nothing that's going to keep anyone warm.
No.
But if you can get out of the wind and the rain and the
Trust
shelters
me,
that are currently there
I
from the
could not
MBTA.
agree more. The meeting we had out there, and Charlie and Robert and I, and
Can we put
George
signs
and
on
Mo, that was,
Oh,
I've never been so cold in my life. With
Yeah.
the wind blowing through there.
Yeah.
It is all possible because we're going to be meeting with you and the architect, and you will be choosing and
Even something
recommending
simple. Yeah.
things
Yeah.
from them.
Because I think the design approach on Kathy is for sort of as a pergola,
Yeah.
almost like an arbor. Okay, that type of a shape was really nice. But then you can grow beautiful vine. I picture
Right,
rain
but
vines.
it rains.
What?
And it's awfully, when it's awful standing
But-
there, and the trains were late. I mean,
Yeah,
I understand
right.
that, but we need to have
Yes.
something
So what
that
about
cover
like
people.
a temporary, like let's say wintertime, there could be, you know what I mean, like something that you can remove in the summertime.
Plexiglass?
Yeah,
maybe,
plexiglass or
underneath
some type
something?
of dividers or whatever, and then take them off in the summer. DPW can store them. I don't know, I know that sounds easier, but
It is a
they
shelter.
keep obviously the summertime openness of it and supply something in the winter, because I'm assuming you're talking more in the winter than you are.
Yeah, I mean, but people do try to take cover in some of the heaviest downpours, particularly when the train is late. The average person waits at that stop maybe 10 minutes. If the train is late, they can be there 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's really the difference between going to work and being soaked until lunchtime and being able to be out of the elements. It's not currently like that. I mean, so I think any improvement that we can make like that for the commuters would be welcomed and embraced.
And the train station sort of structure that's out there, which has sort of, it is.
It is, and the other problem is during rush hour trains, we don't board on that side.
Right,
So
you're
you
on the
have
other
to
side
come
of the
back
tracks.
over as soon as you see the train.
This is where the MBTA has to come to the table soon.
So it needs to be more functional.
Yes, I would say that, I mean, I love the aesthetic of it, but I also think if we can create functionality with it as well, that would be welcomed and embraced, especially if people are going to lose, we're going to lose the building as a windbreak for people. And even in the rainstorms, people stand there. So it's you know, it is, they do use the building, so something that would provide them some kind of shelter. I mean, it's not perfect, of course, but it would definitely help, and I know we would embrace that sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it makes perfect sense, and I also agree with keeping it more open in the summertime. So maybe if there is some type of
Yeah, just make one observation of safety. When you do downtown urban design stuff, we call it, crime prevention through environmental design. You just want to be careful here back there, not to create too many kind of dark little nooks where people can use it as a predator, frankly, for other folks. So that's why in areas like this, you've got to keep things open. But you're right, there's some design solution to create some type of protection.
Good.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So is the seating in the plaza we're looking at intended to be a waiting area for users of the train, or would that be something that the MBTA would address when they do the improvements on that track?
Speaking for myself, that has been something that we've adamantly pounded at them, that they have to address a shelter and a waiting area when the ADA compliant platform, that it has to be part of it.
It doesn't make sense to, at least in my opinion, to make that plaza a shelter where you're removed from the tracks, and especially if the MBTA is going to be building something else.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that's why we're talking about, even just for the time being, I'd hate to build something enclosed, but I also understand Kathleen's point that if let's say they say the platform isn't going to happen for 3 years, it'd be great.
30 years.
Yeah. We have something, like even if it's removable in the wintertime, so we're not building like Alan said, something where people can hide in shadows and but at least break the wind. But I agree, we've pounded that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Connie, and not for the purpose of tonight, but we have had at length conversations with the MBTA about their responsibility of making interim improvements to their platform. The waiting station is awful. The condition of the pavement is awful. We were just out here a couple of weeks ago, so there is a commitment, at least for Mr. Boyle, who's the vice president for real estate, to make some improvements to that platform.
In conjunction.
In conjunction, obviously, with this.
Are those trees, all those green, are they all going to be Bradford pear trees, or are you talking shrubs? What are you talking about? Because I can see what happens to the trees on Main Street.
So, Mr. Kelly's point is well taken, and I know we have some local expertise on this and so forth. This obviously is conceptual, but we need to be very selective in the appropriate planting for this.
You don't want to have hedges and shrubs back here. Same thing, places for privacy. You really want these to be trees with trunks and nice canopy.
But you don't want them so big that they're going to tear up the sidewalk.
That sidewalk needs to be maintained for legal purposes for MBTA.
Right.
So the tree will be in a way that it doesn't interfere with the sidewalk. But we will have
after 30
to.
years, the roots do blow everything up. We got proof of it all down Main Street.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's a selection of what you plant too, right? Aren't certain roots? I mean, it depends on the species, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you plant the wrong tree, roots tend to grow shallower and up.
Up or down.
Other trees grow down, and
but like Mr. Kelly said, you don't want the sidewalk popping in 10 years.
Does one have more seating than the other, or do they both have the same amount of seating?
For some reason, that one's striking me as it probably has a little more, but I don't know
Yeah.
if that's just a visual thing because of the thickness of it I'm seeing, or...
We should have the same amount of sitting in both. And right now, the concept that the selectmen likes, we will be working with the architect, and Alan will be a part of it also.
Okay.
To have a detailed design on that.
I personally like the two, because aesthetically, but I don't know if it's as functional.
That one that's up behind you?
Yes. I just think it gives you more. These people could be waiting for the train, these people might be having coffee.
I like the curvy.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I kind of like that, but I mean, they're both.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, through you, Mohammed or George, on number 2.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The question has come up about this material here on these pavers. And the question has come up in terms of maintenance with respect to that and cost. In other words, I get the aesthetic and the flow, and this is a question from the public, but what if those weren't there? Are we talking a significant cost savings, but also is there, see how they extend out into the kiss and ride?
Yes.
I get the aesthetic piece, but is that going to, in terms of plows and so forth, coming through the kiss and ride, is that completely flush with the pavement?
It is completely flush with the pavement. It is just different color of paver.
And when your experience with those kind of pavers, I mean, how do they hold up?
From our experience, they do. From what the consultant told us.
I've seen them a lot more in construction now. I mean, they're different. They're much higher quality now.
They use them in Boston now.
Crosswalks a lot you see in the city now.
We will be
so this is completely level.
Level
Yes.
at the same level.
Yes.
It's design almost, so different pavers to create that.
Yeah.
Different color.
And we will be talking to the architect to convey that that is the case, and maintenance, they will be looking into it anyway.
Well,
So the
that's a
snow plow and everything.
Superintendent Wetzel had asked, because it'll fall to him besides the maintenance issue, but if these crack or so forth, then they have to be
Well, you need
replaced.
something that's resistant, that you don't want to put concrete, too much concrete, 'cause
Right.
salt. I mean,
Salt,
obviously you
right.
have to be.
But I'm sure you can't get
100%.
these at Obashan. What I'm getting
No.
at is, you know what I mean? Is
Yeah.
That's the concern.
Yeah.
And he will be interfacing with our director, DPW director, about the cleaning part of it.
Mr. Diskin?
Just the rest of they can actually do that with it. Is it all concrete with the pavers that do not exist, or is it all pavers and just different colors? So is it a concrete
Yeah, that was my question too.
pad
It's a white.
situation with pavers entwined, or is it just a different type of paver and the whole thing is a paver?
No, we have concrete and paver.
Okay.
Well, they do make stamped concrete. You may have been.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Of
You can
course.
create any kind of pattern you want in a similar material by stamping and coloring the concrete
Yep.
and creating a design,
Yeah.
rather than going to a paver. And what Mr. Wetzel says is spot on. They do fail, and they do fail in the most inappropriate little spots. And you
Well-
end up replacing pavers here and there, and some trips, and
Yeah.
who knows what.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, it may be cheaper too, but, and you get rid of the cracks and the pervious,
So
you
there's a
know.
lot of ways to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good too. Yeah, I mean, all good ideas that we'll have to address. My personal opinion is I mean, I like that one better.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think the other one's a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kenny, I mean, anybody else?
I think it's
Where-
two areas.
I think too, but because I also think that it encourages the flow of people through towards the train platform as well. The only other thing that I would bring up with this, and I know it's been your work to bring the horse basin back to Depot Square.
Equine water basin.
Okay. Equine water basin, excuse me. But,
EWB.
I mean, only 300 or 400 people, I think, would see this because it's behind the medicine shop where it is now. And I'm not saying that it's, but what if we created another park around it where it is currently? Because so many more people pass by on the way to the Rotary than will actually see this.
We have discussed that, the movie brought that up a while ago about, like a little gazebo down there and that more of the triangle, yeah.
Oh, I would love to, I've enjoyed having this discussion with you. Okay, just quickly. The fountain should be, all historic and heritage items should be returned to their original, authentic indigenous location where they were, what they were for. It's sad that this was taken out of this downtown. We call this the sacking of downtowns in the 1960s and 70s. Downtowns collapsed, they took the best of what we had out and put it on automobile corridors and rotaries. So first it's important this is coming back to its original heritage location. That's important. Secondly, where it is out by that rotary right now, many hundreds of people see it. You can't get anywhere near it with your body. You'll probably get killed walking out there across
my
that
thought
road.
was in the more.
You can't
the eye
speak
of
to
the-
each other if you're near it.
Yeah.
It's an abstraction, Kathy. Most people I talk to now, since I put my video out on it, that's gotten out over 1,700 views. People said, I've never even noticed it. I've driven past that for 8 years every day in my life. I've never really noticed it. So just for all these reasons, we're going to work with the neighborhood and put something.
And we're talking about.
But this fountain needs to come home, so where it is, and it's important for the downtown to hold.
Alan, we're talking about, I'm sorry, Kathy, like was done up front with the fountain, refurbish it, it's not coming back with some spray paint on it, right? It's gonna be dull, like.
Properly restored.
Okay, because the one up front for the longest time was horrible.
Right, the historic commission
Yeah, and
did
then
a
they did a
beautiful
nice
job
job
of
of, yeah.
restoring it.
Okay.
And this puts into place, guys, we're folks in the community, you can now have a visceral experience with it. You can sit, you can listen to the water, which is gonna be magnificent, folks just sitting out there. This will be the place where everyone will go and take their selfies with their kids. It's captured the imagination of the public more than I ever could have.
So you're going to restore the fountain
Oh, yes.
and have it like bubble up and.
Perhaps, again, it never originally did fountain and bubble up, so we need to think about that, what we want to do with it.
Or if you do bring your horse.
Or if you bring your horse.
Ultimately, you can.
Horses will be very happy. And we think it's important to really bring it back where it originally and authentically was.
Hi, Jen.
Chris, one thing that also too, I like the second one, is because from the train itself, you're gonna see trees, you're gonna, and not just the
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause-
so that's gonna make people go, oh, I wonder what's going on down there.
I agree, because the back of those buildings, they're better
Yeah.
there, but farther down is.
Correct. I mean,
Yeah, no, I agree.
you're looking at cars and that's about it. Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I like this.
but I like this.
For
Yeah,
my,
I just-
my personal
yeah.
opinion is that
The other one just feels more boxy and more.
It's,
I don't
I think Alan said it best. It's more it has that geometric.
Yeah.
Everything else back there, all the building, everything is very linear and geometric. Everything else out in that environment. So this is what sort of breaks up in an organic form and fashion. I think it's a good complement to the very rigid geometric lines. Everything else out there is, so I think it's complements it.
Yeah, that's the one I would like to pursue. I think
Yeah,
we're all
me
in
too.
agreement.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do too.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Matt.
in addition to talking to the MBTA about structures for waiting for the trains, has anyone talked to the train lines about their dumping area behind the station?
So, police, we discussed it about a month ago. I sent Robert an email last week saying that I saw them bringing more stuff into Willow Road, and I'm ready to completely lose my mind. And there needs to be a solution or something done within like the next week, because
So
then I don't want to lose my mind. But
Well, they're cleaning back here, right?
Right, to Selectman Hillman's point, per this board a couple,
Are they doing something?
it's been about 2 months ago, per this board, Alan, myself, Mark Wetzel, Carly, we met with the MBTA regarding several things. One is the platform interim improvements. The other thing is, if capital planning committee approved the fence for across town hall. So
Removal of the chain link fence,
taking the
correction
chain
of
link
proper
fence
historic project.
and redoing the plantings there because it's a mess. Then we took them both, as Selectman Hillman mentioned, Willow Road is a spot, it's a disaster, and the whole platform area, which is MBTA and Pan Am, and we're talking to Pan Am, it's a dumping ground. And we have said to them that the expectation for the town of Ayer is that this needs to be a partnership. I mean, this is a huge investment being made by the town of Ayer, but additionally, this isn't a 19th century rail yard anymore, or rail dumping ground.
You don't see it in Littleton, you don't see it in Acton, Lincoln, wherever
So
you go
very
down the
good
line,
point.
yeah.
And we do have, at least this board has expectations that that fence project will be completed before winter and that they begin to make these improvements.
And they don't treat this town in this way any longer going forward. And we made it very straight with them. I thought, I said, look, here's where we're coming from. We want to escalate train ridership. And we looked and said, is that what you want? We think that's what you want. We think we're in the same, yes? Yes. Well, then let's do this. Because the way it is now, we're not going to escalate ridership.
the thing
We're making
with-
this as undesirable as possible.
And
So,
Gary just
no.
made a good point, we discussed this. The MBTA too is, the next step is media attention about, because they are very, I know I made a quote in the paper and within the next day, we were copied on an email. I'm sure this was taken out of context from Mark Boyle, which it wasn't, but I think that's our next step. I mean, we gotta draw some attention to it, like, they respond much better when there's negative attention on them, as opposed to just letting them say, we'll be there when we be there, when we get there. So I'm at that point.
That's, I mean, that's the whole expectation. If you get off the train, you all have Kathleen, so forth. It's a disaster. And even with this positive investment, you're absolutely right. Across the street, it looks like this steel
We'll
junkyard.
go over to Main Street,
Yeah.
across over there, it's, you know, you get these beautiful houses and you're staring at trash and debris. And it's just not, and they'll blame Pan Am, but as Chief Pedrazi will tell you, whenever he calls Pan Am, or I've called Pan Am, they respond.
No, we
If
have to
there's-
get Pan Am down for their part of this.
Correct.
That's one of the pieces. And the other thing is the double tracking is over. I mean, I
Yeah.
understood when the double tracking, which was a positive thing, there were things.
Well, the Willow Road has been a dumping ground. There was a whole, remember all the tires they brought in there and the smell was so bad? It's about 8 years ago.
So let's get them all out here.
Yeah.
You want to go with that one?
Yeah, do we need to vote on this, or we just want to
Well, I
conceptually
think
pursue
that
this?
What we were looking for tonight, which was input, which is good, is sort of the board's direction in terms of concept. I mean, it sounds like this is the preferable concept.
Yeah, second one, yeah. This,
So we will move in that direction, taking into account, I think, some good points about the issue of the shelters, the sides, the more information, obviously, on the pavers and the maintenance aspect of it, and
But yeah, we prefer this.
Yeah. Okay, and we still have to meet with the fire department to see their comment on the shelter and
So
shades, where they're going to be accessing that station.
do you need a vote? Would you prefer a vote, or?
I mean, hopefully this is what the selectmen wants, because we have to communicate that to the architect, so they can now design, and then we're going to bring that final design back to you for input. I do not know the formalities of it.
I think we're good.
And last time,
so long you have a record of that the selectmen prefer
Yeah.
this alternative, that's
And
all
if you
right.
call tomorrow, we'll set up a meeting right away with the fire department. That
yeah,
way they-
last time what we did for the parking facility at DCR parking area, I think the board preferred one alternative, and the consultants start designing that alternative, and this is what we're looking for.
Great.
At least the board will prefer this concept for
Okay, so in
Continue
terms
design.
of next steps, then we will move this concept forward with the architect to come back for you in public
Yeah.
discussion. Very shortly, the 80% on Park Street, once we get that, we'll get that to the board and to other interested parties so we can have that discussion, as well as the crossing on Main Street, so everybody's on the same page.
Yes.
And we continue to push as far as the timeline, the expectation. We really need to get this out to bid.
That was my next question.
January to get
This is
this
approved in
going.
November, December. This can be ready, teed up for spring in terms of bid and acceptance and.
Our goal is to put it in the bid in
January.
January.
End of the year, beginning January. There are a couple of things that we need to have the ownership to the town of that DCR property.
Right.
Because
I
federal
still
money
believe
cannot be.
They're still dragging their feet on that.
It's the title work that actually the town is paying for to fix the MBTA, DCR. When they made the rail trail, it's technically through three people's backyards.
Oh.
And they said, well, you guys can fix that. So I've been working with Katie Klein. We have a title attorney, so it's just in the weeds.
She's good, but I mean, of course, we're paying for it. She's
Yeah, she's
fantastic.
great,
Yeah.
and she's waiting on a title expert, because it was railroad, so it was.
You can't make it
This stuff with the railroad, it really,
It's
you can't make
crazy.
it up.
Well, we should have we have this call scheduled with DCAM again next week, so.
Yeah, it is about to be transferred. It will be transferred.
Not
so-
like tomorrow, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
But,
won't hold the project up.
Nope.
but Mark and I agree, as the board, that we need to get this out to bid and get this constructed in 2018.
Like the frost is out of the ground, things
Yes.
are,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Additionally, we'll keep you advised specifically, because I know you'll probably want to be there when the wrecking ball hits the Advocates building, but we're on schedule to do that this fall, so we'll keep you posted on that.
That will be done shortly.
Yeah,
You know,
we have to move a water line.
That's not a big deal. This looks a lot nicer than that cement building.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Very
gentlemen.
good.
Sorry to keep you.
No problem.
Sorry to keep you guys too so long. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do we got now? We got the rear report.
You want to give my report?
You want to close the meeting, Mo? I'm hungry.
We now know officially that that is the plan
Yeah.
that the selectmen wants.
Yeah, right here.
And we will work with the architect with the input that we have now from
Yeah.
everybody. And so that we can tell them. The only thing is that the line of tree over there, they have to readjust because MBTA wants that path coming from here or coming from the Barry property.
Yeah.
We are also going to be communicating that there is some discussion of some part of the land needs to be
Yeah.
freed up. And we will communicate to them so that,
Yes, and I'll have that information for you.
and Alan, when they discuss that, that we are all agreeing on the handicap part of it,
Yeah.
the bathroom part of it, and the bicycle area. Where
These gentlemen gave you the green light.
And we're going to be working the detail of that, and with the various town departments, the Public Works Department for the sewer and water,
Yeah.
and also about the snow removal, paving,
Yeah.
and your liking how we're going to be doing this.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, so you will be interfacing with the architect to
Mohammed.
say that whatever he wants.
The EWB, the Equine Water Basin.
corner.
That itself is,
That is the focal point.
yeah, we are gonna be, as a part of the bid, it is gonna be located here.
We just have to pay to redo it.
And that is gonna be a construction requirement. And that, this is a space for the statue or whatever you wanna put it in there.
That could be the statue of you.
Statue of,
It'll be an abstract of you, so who knows what.
whatever it is, I think the.
Okay,
All right.
we're in good shape.
We're good.
Oh, we're good.
Whatever you want to put in there. But this one is defined, what exactly we want. Statue, we do not know what we're going to put
There's
in
still
there.
variables, but you've got your instructions.
And the other thing is the sitting arrangement.
What?
The benches for the people to wait and sit there is the granite, whatever we have, or the other one, we want to bring it, maximize that. Also, it will be covered so that it is shelter from the rain or snow and things. So we want to deal with that. We also have to talk with our fire chief, that in case that he wants to bring a fire engine to the platform, how he wants to do it. If it has to go through this property, he can do it.
Okay.
So the architect should know that how it will be done in case of an emergency.
You betcha.
Because if we are putting this as bicycle and the bathroom, no longer we have the access in here. So it has to be through here. Or he can come in from the other property.
If our chief needs to get to the platform, he'll just go right
Whatever
through
he has to go through, he's going to
But
go through it.
we do not want to create an
No, I know.
obstruction that the engine cannot go, or the,
We'll meet with him.
So we will be, all those details now is going to come back to you again. How the architect is solving it before we go out in a bit.
There it is.
Good shape.
Very good.
Thank you, Mo and George. We'll be in touch.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Nice work.
Good job.
We need Alan to work with us.
I love working with you.
Got some trouble the first
Anything you say that is Bible for us, we'll do that.
Wow.
Okay, there it
Because
is.
you represent the selectmen.
Thank you very much.
Good night. Now, I never thought I'd start saying this, but start like
Thank you.
I'll never hear that again.
Thanks, Mo. Thanks, George.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Drive carefully.
You got everything in there?
Good.
Thank you.
Now we'll be working with two of you.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm up for it.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you, Mo.
Charlie,
Yes, sir.
trying to transfer the land because we have to go out
I'm
on a bit.
transferring away.
Yeah, she's on it. Thank you, Mo.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, guys, take care.
Take care.
Okay.
Was he asleep the first time?
I think so.
All right.
EWB, Equine
All right,
Water
Basin.
Basin.
No, I like Mo. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, just two quick administrative items here that my colleague Alicia Hersey requested I come and just put these two before you. The first item, I'm sorry, we're at lien subordination, 49 is first. Okay.
Either way.
Okay, I'll do, it's fine. 49 Main Street, this is the historic Fletcher Building, great project that was done a few years ago. So what's happening here is what's happening actually with many property owners now. There's a lot of refinancing going on. The building's performing at a very high level. So what they're asking here, they're going to be refinancing their whole loan, and we're just asking, requesting your approval just to subordinate our mortgage, because we did they did a loan through the Department of Housing and Community Development. This is why there are a number of good affordable low-income units there. So just as they refinance, we just have to, for the bank to refinance, they need to be in first position, and we're comfortable at this point, just, subordinating to that. Again, the building's performing at a high level. Mr. France has done an excellent job. So we're just here to ask, in case of 49 Main Street, your approval and authorization to subordinate that instrument.
Make a motion to subordinate the town's Need for the first mortgage not to exceed the amount of $543,750.
And that's the first, and then the second one, I'll just say quickly, is to also subordinate the affordable housing restriction.
Yeah, I was going to add the each separate.
Yep. Actually, I think all together is fine.
Do it all together.
Yep,
Okay.
that's it.
In addition to approve the subordination of the town's affordable housing restriction.
Second. All fair?
Aye.
Good, thank you. The second item, quickly again, now this is our grant contract that we were awarded the town through the Department of Health and Human Services, and this is for our partnership with the Advocates. And this is, my God, the amazing good work that they are doing with drug court aversion and just all, frankly, the people who are going through difficult issues, whether substance abuse or other things. And I'll tell you, Alicia and I had and by the way, everyone did a great job. They're in their new location now, in Harvard, and they are very pleased, by the way. The move, everyone did, a great job. Carly, Robert, Mr. McParland, everyone, because they're so very pleased now with their new location. And close to us, still right on the border of Ayer, right there. And Alicia and I actually had a great meeting there last week with Judge Guzman from the District Court, Probation Officer Reed, and their team. And we're going to be doing much more with the Advocates in terms of working more with our police department and working more with the Neshoba Medical Center, and frankly working more with our large corporations, our human resource directors, because a lot of these folks have really gotten their lives in order and they're looking for employment. And we have great companies here that are saying we are looking for more people now to start in and work. So we're going to actually be doing even more with these folks going forward. So this is just the again to sign execute the contract to go in one more year of this good work. And again, we're very pleased with what Advocates is doing with people that are at risk, frankly, in our community.
Yeah, they've
They're
always
having
been
ideal
good.
outcomes.
They've always been good.
Fantastic.
Signature by the board.
Yes. And it was just executing the agreement to extend it for an additional year. And this is the final year, by the way, of the 4-year contract. So it'll be executing to go forward with this 4th and final year.
Make a motion to approve and sign the BHGCC grant contract between the town of Ayer and Advocates until September 29, 2018.
Was expecting
the amount of
an original contract here in the mail. It didn't come.
Second.
So,
All fair?
Aye.
very good. Thank you very much. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Alan.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Is Mojo on this report or you doing?
I'm going to do this.
Mr. Pillow, thanks for asking twice, though.
Gentlemen, in the interest of time,
Which we've lost long ago.
I will, in the interest of time, I keep it brief, just a couple of highlights. Obviously, the special town meeting is on Monday, the 25th, September 25th, 7 p.m. here in the Great Hall. We will be prepared for that. It's a single item, town meeting's consideration of the special tax agreement with American Superconductor. Last Thursday, myself, Carly, Tom Hogan, our assessor, Alan, along with the CFO and CEO of American Superconductor, conducted the public input forum here on Thursday at 6. There was a good attendance. It also was filmed. It's been posted onto the town's Facebook and onto town website for people to see, and APAC is also showing it, again, to answer everybody's questions and so forth. So we'll move forward with that. Secondly, we sort of really touched upon the MBTA issues I was going to bring up under my report, but remain committed to getting this fence project done before the winter. It must be done this fall across here. We've asked for additional follow-ups from Keolis and the MBTA on the situation at Willow Road and the platform and the one piece, right, along the whole rail bed, if you will. And then we do need to set up with Pan Am the discussion about the platform, their piece of it, because some of it is MBTA, but some of it's Pan Am. but the bottom line is the end goal is to improve that. So I agree. If we don't get some satisfactory results quickly, then we will.
Have you expressed that to them?
Yes,
And I know Mark's, they've been, we have
Yeah.
a rapport with them and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's something that's, we can't gonna wait forever. I know Alan brought this up a year ago. We brought it up when we walked 2 years ago. That was, if you remember, the first thing I said is, we'll get it done right away, cleaning up that over there by Advocates.
No, and it hasn't fallen on deaf ears to them that the taxpayers of Ayer, through the capital process, appropriated $15,000 for the fence. They need to do their part. So we will have another update very shortly, but I need the board to understand that we do take this very serious and are stressing the timeline, and it's just dealing with these 3 entities, but we need to get some results. Additionally, the police radio project, the phase 1 of that project was the police was the shelter building, which is in place, and the site prep for that. We have now have a definitive plan to get this project out to bid. The consultant has designed all of the technical components. Has to be bid. Yeah,
I'm glad we had to do it quick.
Yeah, I'm glad we were forced to do it.
I have conveyed that concern, which is shared by Chief Murray and his team. Very frustrating.
Fall, right? That we
yes.
put this huge article forward that we
and then the other part for the spring. So the plan is that it will go out to bid. Superintendent Wetzel is actually doing the bid documents because it's going to be bid under a 3039M, a specific that he does all the time. We've been in contact with town council because of the unique part of the project. To make a long story short, it will be going out to bid the end of October. October 10th. It will go out to bid, and we will get you updates as far as once it goes out to bid, having that project.
Was this not known? I mean, just on the sake of transparency, we pushed this through. We discussed it because we weren't necessarily comfortable, because it felt like we were kind of pigeonholed into it, that meeting. And obviously, public safety, safety of our officers was paramount. Now we're a year removed, and we've got a building. And I don't mean this towards you. I think I probably speak for you too, Gary. I mean, it was a pretty big financial in the fall, which again in the spring. And we did it because we were worried that something was going to happen to an officer without a radio contact. Now we're a year removed, and we might be going out to bid soon. And I know that's maybe an answer for the consultant and the chief and all that, but I'm just kind of torques me a little bit that we're.
Oh, you're not alone.
But I guess these people that do, like, and I was going to bring this up. We approve all this stuff, and then it doesn't happen. They need to be held accountable. They need to come back here and explain to us why it didn't happen. And you can go on to, we put forward 2 new police officers almost 2 years ago for a traffic unit. Well, it'll be 2 years in the spring. Where are they? And I know this under the academy, but let's get it done. And why hasn't it been done? Because I get asked, I'm sure you get asked all the time. I mean, well, you're down here on Main Street, traffic's brutal. That was the point of putting that officer out there.
As I understand it, and as I've communicated it to the board, they have not gotten the applicants they had hoped for. They did hire one that then went to Westford.
But that happens, attrition happens all the time. Littleton just put 2 guys on. Guys switch departments all the time. I don't believe that there's not police officers out there.
And then Officer Krasinskis left us,
which was unfortunate,
for Florida. Yes.
Yeah,
so there are.
I'm not asking you to answer for them.
I'm not. But I want you to know that I have conveyed that concern not only from you but from the board and others on the staffing in the traffic division and on the radio piece. Ms. Cabri and I had, as did you, had fundamental concerns right from the beginning that there was this sake of urgency, which everybody, including town meeting, went in good faith.
Absolutely.
And then I understand and this isn't the only project, as you know, as the chair of the capital planning committee, others, whether it's DPW projects and so forth, everybody wants this funding right away, but...
A year and a half later, we put it up.
Right.
Yeah, you know, honestly, not to sound like our president again, but, you know, for every new regulation, one's going to come off. It's seriously with capital this year. I know it's all coming. I am not in the mood to approve all these other things until other things are complete. I know Mary brought this up in the past, but we had to do that a few years ago and saying, where is this? And then it got, because other things that are really wanted, there's a new mini excavator, there's a new water trailer already in the town, there's the designs out for the DPW office building.
Well, Superintendent
And not to throw, I mean, I'm not trying to use it, I'm just saying
No.
it can be.
But the expectation has already been put out there specifically with DPW.
Is the fuel canopy done? That was 4 years ago.
I knew you were going to ask
Well,
that.
I'm just...
And when I asked the superintendent that, he says he has to design it. So I will, I
The
understand.
building got designed, very nice too, I saw it, trust me.
So on the issue of capital for FY19,
Get myself fired up, sorry.
we'll be meeting shortly. I have had conversations with the superintendent, and he brought this up, that last year was an enormous, and in a positive way,
No, I agree.
capital for
I've got a lot done.
DPW, but that this year, not just because of finances, which is always the key thing, but also getting all of these things done. I mean, we still have this big bridge project and so forth, that until the log is...
Take a year off. We're good.
Right. In good news, the town, we did a conference call a few weeks ago with Moody's, and the Moody's, it will be getting the official letter, which I'll transmit to the board, has increased the town's bond rating another level in the favorable direction. Very
We
special.
couldn't go much higher, I don't think,
We
right?
got one.
Right?
We can go one more higher, so we're almost there. A very special thanks to all of the departments that worked on that call, and specifically Ms. Cabri. I know she's not here, but puts a lot of prep into it. And specifically, the increase in our rating was largely due to their analysis on the strong fiscal stability of the town, as well as changes in the overall demographic and economic climate of the area. So you can, when I get the formal letter, I'll send it. But that's positive news because A, it's a third-party objective barometer of the financial condition of the town, but as the board knows, it also gives us a favorable borrowing rate and bond rate when needed. So that was a piece of good news. Lastly, in terms of personnel matters, I appreciate the board's support tonight on the conservation agent. I believe she'll be a good addition to our team. The town planner officially starts on the 26th, but Mark has already been involved in attending things for the town.
Where you're putting them yet?
He'll be up on the third floor.
Okay.
And also, so that will be a good team working with Alan. And we are going to convene, as Janet Provodakis had mentioned earlier, we're just waiting to get the planner on board, which he is now. We will be convening that land group now to really do an inventory priority and really let's get a plan together on the available land. So we remain committed to that. Also, in terms of personnel matters, the Director of Facilities Maintenance will be retiring. His last day will be October 2nd. We are in the process of hiring a replacement. We have posted the position in the Lowell Sun, the MMA, and we will keep the board apprised of that process and hope to bring a candidate for your consideration. The search committee of that consists of myself and the two chiefs, and we will keep you posted on that transition as well. And we wish him all the best. I've been with the town, I think, since 2009. In the interest of time for appointments, as I have, through the amendment for tonight, I have 4 recommendations for appointments to the Cultural Council. And we just do them individually if there isn't, or as a block. They are, and I appreciate the board's consideration because this will give them a quorum, and there will be an article for your consideration for town meeting to set the number. Town meeting set the membership of the Cultural Council because it's unclear how it was set, but it has an enormous, it's like 12 members, which has created quorum problem.
Quorum for planning board.
Right, so we're not changing this to obviously restrict people being involved, but we're changing it so it is a realistic board with quorum. So with that, I respectfully recommend that the BOS appoint Miss Erin Clements of Ayer to the Ayer Cultural Council to fill an unexpired 3-year term to expire on June 30th, 2018. Mr. Bob Williams of Ayer to an unexpired term to expire June 30th of 2018. They're all 3-year terms, but they're unexpired. Miss Marilyn McMillian of Ayer to a term to expire June 30th, 2018. And Mr. Tyler McMillian to a term to expire on June 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you. The next item in your packet is the Jonathan Drive waterline easement. On behalf of the DPW superintendent, I'm respectfully recommending that the BOS approve and sign the Jonathan Drive waterline easement, which was drafted and reviewed by Attorney Katie Klein of Town Council, along with Mark Wetzel and Dan Van Scalwick. As the board is aware, this waterline loop will provide a secondary water line to Groton School Road and Fitchburg Road area. Currently, there is a single water line from Park Street serving these areas, and if a water main break occurred, it could cause up to over 800 customers to be without water, including impacting the hospital. The secondary main will also increase flows for fire protection. A major section of the secondary water line is being installed as part of the Riley Jane Farm subdivision.
Make a motion to approve the acceptance of deed. Waterline easement for Jonathan Drive.
Second. Oh, sorry. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
This is it.
The
We're going to finish the town administrator's report.
one more thing.
Mo was waiting in the hallway.
I know that All right. Lastly, is the discharge of claim for 14 William Street. I'm respectfully recommending that the BOS vote to approve the discharge of claim for 14 William Street in the amount of $23,877.90. This claim represents the town's costs for the boarding and securing of 14 William Street, as well as the costs for the exterior debris removal at the property. Upon approval and signature of the discharge of claim, the mortgage company for 14 William Street will issue payment to the town of Ayer in the amount of $23,877.90, which will be held in escrow by town council until the final discharge of the claim is recorded and payment will be transferred. And Attorney Klein is usually very good in getting it recorded, so within a day or so. So again, this through the condemnation, these were our costs. Because there's a mortgage company involved, they're going to obviously reimburse us with your approval.
I'll make a motion to approve discharge of statement of claim, the amount of $23,877.90 for the property located at 14 William Street.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good work with that. Getting that taken care of that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good effort by the whole town, and as the board is aware, the Attorney General's Abandoned Property Division is now the custodian of both 14 Williams and 128, which is significant because those costs are now borne by the Attorney General and not the town.
On both properties?
On both properties.
Right. The bank was taken.
Well, there's a bank interest, but
it was for sale.
This,
It was for sale.
yeah. And we'll keep you updated through the Attorney General's office as they move forward with those properties. Gentlemen, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Just quickly, and Carrie, we touched on this last week, and we were both in agreement. How do we want to approach this about the supplemental Chapter 90?
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to add, things are starting to look good, but, we only get $245,000 a year.
Last year was Copeland Drive.
This
Yeah.
year was New England Way, which really doesn't benefit any residents at all. And not that they didn't need to be done, but
And Washington Street's gonna get them. East Main will get done from the state. They just did Park Street up to.
yeah.
So I mean, everything it's going pretty good. I mean, but I'd like to augment it and get some more money in there, and maybe down the road have it a regular line item in the budget. But if we have free cash available, which we've had, I don't see any problem with supplementing the Chapter 90 appropriation.
Yeah, I agree. I just, you can never, for one, maintenance and stuff wasn't really done before Dan Nason and Mark Wetzel in terms of keeping track of streets and what needs to be done, and now they're on it, but how do you ever catch up?
Well, and as the board remembers, because you authorized it through VHB, we did, and they followed this,
Yeah.
the pavement
Right.
study. You remember, I think the cost, it was 3.8 million to bring, anyway, but, well, in terms of next steps, why don't I discuss when the superintendent returns
that's
and
what I
just
mean.
agree
That's-
to
yeah, I
sort
think
of
I
shape
agree.
this, and then maybe flesh it through the
Well,
by
there's other
board.
towns too, like, I don't know what other towns do it, but I drive through Westford and it feels like they're paving everything in the world over there. Obviously, they have a paving plant, not agreement, but so obviously they're augmenting, they have to be.
Oh, yeah, I think, as we discussed last time, there are some towns, like the town of Reading, as Mr. Wetzel brought up.
Yeah.
It's a line item,
Yeah.
it changes, but it's part of the budget. In other cases, I know, in talking to Ms. Rell in Westford, they do augment at times, specific projects, so.
And there's
if that's-
towns that actually use the Chapter 90 as augmenting the amount of money they're taking in taxes.
They do that, right, and you can also use Chapter 90 money to buy vehicles and equipment,
No,
which
we don't want to do
we
that,
don't
right.
recommend, but some towns do it.
So we talked about this on capital, you can't go, really can't go wrong with smart infrastructure and investments as a community.
And we've done quite a bit of investment.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
we've
it's-
brought the water lines on, there's
Right.
so many feet per year, whatever we approved.
So that, and I don't say this lightly, and it goes to the taxpayers and the residents of Ayer. For 9.5 square miles, this town has invested a lot of effort, energy, and funding into the infrastructure to move it in the right direction. I mean, that East Main Street project is not only huge, but will be transformative when it's done.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
streetscape, which
And
is
next
the
year-
exciting part.
Yeah. Next year, he's got to finish Washington Street, which the lower part has, granite curbing and stuff, so.
Yeah.
It's going to be more expensive.
Right, if the Chapter 90 was more generous and more realistic,
Yeah.
you should be able to do like an entire Washington Street
Right.
in one cycle. I mean, you
Yeah.
saw, so I think in terms of next steps, let's get some more information and continue the discussion with those details.
Okay.
Both the mechanism,
'cause that'd be
the
for
amount.
spring, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and input, but like Gary said, you're right, all Washington should have been done. It's not their fault, but,
Yeah.
and in the
No,
state, and you look at the state situation, and it's constantly, we didn't bring in the tax revenue we thought we were going to this year. So who knows what Chapter 90
And at the
will be.
last meeting, you heard, we actually lost money because of the calculation with Harvard, because of the number of vehicles, and we did try to work with the state, but anyway.
But Harvard gets $7 million in lottery money, even though they don't sell a ticket. No
You're
discussion.
supposed to take up that cause.
I'm waiting for our delegation, Alan, you're
Okay.
supposed to invite them. And then the traffic island, I know I talked about this, but Alan, you can briefly discuss, but this I thought was a good idea, worked out for a little bit, but is not working out the way it should, and really needs to be taken over by the DPW or the parks or moving forward. And I throw the parks up there because I know they've talked about an expanded role, some things.
I concur with your assessment.
You've dealt with the brunt of stuff, so.
I could tell you stories of Sunday mornings I've spent out there at 6 a.m. and you've been there too and all. No, but I think the most important thing, though, that I learned from being out there physically and bodily many, many times, it's one of the most dangerous truly unsafe places, let alone for public safety professionals or highway whatever, I really recommend we not allow any citizens or volunteers or anywhere working on those islands out there. You're standing within literally 1 or 2 feet of being killed in an instant over and over and over. So just that in itself, please, anyone that goes out there, please, be careful.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, it's just that, what is it? There's no parameters. I mean, there is, but you put a sign up and you get 9,000 cars of advertising or 20,000 cars of advertising a day, and you get weeds and
Thank you. You never bought into an hey man, I've had many nights and days to think about. Right.
Advertising a day.
It's hard, and I told you, I've become obsessed now. Everywhere I drive now, I look at planting islands everywhere. This is so different as opposed to planting as you have like in a downtown or neighbor city streets. The Rotary is everyone's and no one's. It's hard to adopt anything out there. It's no one's neighborhood, if you will, per se. But anyway, I do. And just the islands themselves, Mr. Chairman, the earth and soil rock that's in those things, it is absolutely unconducive for anything to live in it or to just do well in it. I tell you this because I had my hands ripped apart and crushed. It's all oil-saturated, soot-saturated rock. It's not even soil anymore. I don't know. I'm shocked anything actually lives in it.
Yeah.
Which is a testament to some of the plants out there that they even. So anyway, for all these reasons, yes, a new approach.
Urban botanist.
I would even suggest hardscaping those islands and putting large planting vessels that you can control and really, grow something, this type of thing. But I agree with you. A new approach would be most welcome.
What we would recommend for consideration with the FY19 budget upon us is let us get some quotes and some numbers. And this project should be taken over by the town to do it correct and safely and make sure it's standardized. Additionally, I offer, as you heard from American Superconductor, I'm just saying they're very interested in the Rotary as far as I'm talking funding. In Mass DOT, we're still trying to get them out here, and when Superintendent Wetzel gets back, but they want to do some significant landscaping to the Rotary, which they've asked us to be involved in, which I think is key, but we also want them to make some improvements to that Rotary, including the guardrails and so forth. So I think that it's an excellent idea, and I think it's important, because otherwise it just stays there, but I think the town...
Think of how far we've come with that since 2012. I mean, that
Yes.
was the jungle.
Yes.
I mean, and how much it's improved.
Yeah.
I think we've all taken pride in it, but...
Oh, absolutely.
So Alan and I and Mark, let's shape this. We'll get see what it would cost.
And I'd even like to schedule, again, a design walk, which you and I have talked about. Let's get out there, even if it's on a Saturday or whenever it is, and get out and really, you can't do this looking at this thing on a map. You have to physically go out there and really look at what you're dealing with.
Hanging trees from the Christmas lights, it's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
It's enormous out there.
Yeah.
So,
And we discussed if the town funds it and does it properly, and if either the planting receptacles or whatever, and someone wants to sponsor it and reimburse
Absolutely.
the town.
That's
fine.
That's
But
it.
let us design it, let us pay for it, and know
We have control
what will
over it.
work.
Meaning the
That's
town.
right.
But there's-
I think it's a good idea.
And it'll be safer for everyone involved as well.
Yeah.
Because we did,
Yes.
right, absolutely.
Because there are private sectors, companies, that will then adopt the island. They'll reimburse.
The problem is the work. So, I mean, if you
Right.
reimburse,
Yes.
like, you think the
Yes.
Red Sox have an official couch or pillow, but I mean, the official pillow of the Boston Red Sox, I mean, that's how it works in today's world, People
That's right.
to get the name on stuff. So that's a good idea.
And
I
just,
think the companies
and just watering, what's required to keep anything healthy and growing out there, I know this personally, you have to lug, every time you go out there, at least 8 gallons of water. And that just barely will keep everything, you have to do that 3 to 5 times a week, every week. And I've done this. I've loaded my car with jug, and you go out there and you do it. And then after about a month of that, you sit there going, wait a minute, man, I know there's a better way. So
The point in Littleton has a water truck. They come and they, well, you know what I mean? They come every day. And Mary?
While we're getting all this done, could we get all those old political advertisement
Yes.
signs
Thank you.
that are on
And
the
stickers.
lights
And,
everything? Oh.
yeah, there's the mortars.
We want them to replace
Control all that.
And that, yeah, the guardrails and all
yeah.
that, the mowing there and
All of it.
on the backside coming into
Yeah, all
Main
of the
Street.
fixtures.
And get control of the signage issue. You're right, Mary, because other towns are using this now to promote in their towns and all, and this is,
Alan, you've seen nothing. I mean, when I first got on the board, there was
When the Harvard
500.
Beach Festival starts.
Yeah, there was, the island signs weren't the only ones that were taking out that rotary, trust me.
So.
Great potential, though, great
Yes,
potential.
all right, so we will prepare in that direction, and we'll keep you updated once Mass DOT gets out here, because they want to do some things with the Rotary, but we want them to also make some improvements to the Rotary, which along with guardrails.
I mean, they paid, but you're right, guardrails,
Some of
signage.
the other stuff, yeah.
Straight signs.
Should I suggest that there be a cutoff date where those signs are removed out there? Because that was the original plan. Winter came.
Oh, thank you, by the way. Thank you very much for bringing this up. I feel, yes.
They're leaving them there all winter.
Yeah, no.
That's I've got that.
What I would like to do, and I will draft this letter tomorrow, I'll draft letters to the three folks that are doing it, and simply informing them that we're going to be taking the program in a new direction now. Of course, thanking them very much, their efforts and such, and then making sure if there's anything that they feel is their property that they own, now will be the time to remove it if they wish, and just but just to let them know we're going to just take this in another direction after dealing it through, and I'll send that out to all of them and express our thanks to them.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Alan. Thanks for sticking around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you.
Is this the minutes?
Make a motion to approve meeting minutes from September 5th, 2017.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Make the motion to adjourn.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.